Hello all, and welcome to the 1v1 show. It's your boy Geo Huey Flow, welcoming you to the place all things niche, nerd, and pop culture. We got a dope show for y'all today, where we're going to talk about this week's news in pop culture and niche culture. Now, as always, introducing my co-host, the man behind the boards, Mikey, aka Hyphy Soul. Take it away.
What's up, everyone? As you said, I am Mikey, aka Hyphy Soul, and if you guys are new to the 1v1 show, and what we do here, how we conduct the show is by starting off with 10 topics from the news this week regarding the Super Bowl, halftime show, Cyberpunk, and Nintendo, Uncharted, and so much more. And after that, we'll be discussing our top 5, and for this week, it will be about their top 5 PlayStation franchises. And we don't just end there. Finishing off today's episode will be our 1v1 showdown where Gio and our guest host will take sides on a debate. And today's debate is our PlayStation exclusive repetitive. Find out later. And then, if you guys like what we do here, please give us a follow on our socials on IG, Twitter, and you can support us on Patreon where we have 3 tiers. $3 will get you a roll credit. Ooh, this probably need to...
Damn, you famous?
Whoops. Notifications. But yeah, if you like what we do here, please give us a follow on our socials, IG, Twitter, and you can support us on Patreon. We have 3 tiers. $3 will get your roll credit at the end of the show. $5 will let you submit any topic that you want. And $10 will let you sponsor us by plugging anything you want regarding your business, there's Etsy, your social media, as long as it's appropriate. But the best way to support us is by participating in the chat. And big announcement, since we are a video podcast, we don't just have any... and we don't have an audio podcast out there until 3 weeks ago. We are currently on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Music, and Apple Podcasts. So if you aren't able to catch us live on either Twitch or YouTube, which we are streaming on both platforms right now, you can catch us on the other 4 platforms, like I just said. And yeah, just know that the post show won't make it on there to the audio portion. So the post show is exclusively for the video participants. Sorry, I don't know why I blinked out there. And anyways, so our guest today is a variety streamer, gamer of all... Hey, thank you for follow, Confetti Ninja.
Yo.
Oh wait, that is my thing. And yeah, and our guest today is a variety gamer and a fellow streamer, and his name is Tokyo Sun. How's it going, Tokyo?
Yo, it's going well. It's going well. Happy to be here, man. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, and then so let me just get this out the way. We started late because I woke up late because I stayed up playing Forbidden West, and I didn't sleep till like 4:30, and then I just got on our Discord call like 45 minutes ago, and then so yeah, so I'll take the blame for our lateness.
Jesus Christ.
Game's amazing. Game's amazing.
Isn't that good?
You don't have to say something, no.
Both of you are stuck on that game.
Yeah.
Game's amazing. Game's amazing.
Mm-hmm. But all right, so let's get started with our first topic of the day, which is Elvis. What is going on with Elvis, Gio?
Elvis. All right, so have you seen this trailer, Tokyo Sun?
No, I've not seen that trailer.
All right, so Elvis is not really a figure that I would say that our generation, we know who he is. Maybe a couple of us like listen to him, but he's not really something that he's definitely something for the older generation, right?
Right.
But I would say that this trailer actually kind of sold me on watching this biopic about Elvis. It's directed by Baz Luhrmann. If you know Baz Luhrmann, he did Moulin Rouge, he did The Great Gatsby, and he did The Get Down. Have you seen The Get Down?
I have not seen The Get Down. Great Gatsby was a great movie, and Moulin Rouge was not bad.
Okay, so the Get Down, I honestly I would recommend you watching it because the Get Down is Baz Luhrmann. He made a Netflix drama about like kind of like the beginning of hip hop music.
Okay.
So it's like set in like the Bronx, and it shows like the transition from like disco to like hip hop. It's really good show.
Okay.
But this Elvis trailer has him taking on the role of the King of Rock and Roll alongside Tom Hanks, who plays his manager. It stars 30-year-old. What's up?
I said, oh,
Oh yeah, yeah. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is one of those guys where you see him in a movie or you hear it in a movie, you pay a little bit more attention. But it stars Austin Butler, who was previously in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then Tom Hanks, who I didn't know this, he's now 65. Like, I thought that man was ageless. I mean, you could tell he's getting older, but like, you never really think about how old Tom Hanks is.
right.
But anyways, movie starts him with Elvis pretty much starting his journey as kind of a nervous kind of wannabe singer taking the stage, and then everyone knows kind of the what you would say, the infamous scene where Elvis started gyrating his hips, and women
Right.
everywhere started screaming, and of course that had to be censored in America, which to us nowadays it's funny, it's ridiculous, but I'm excited for it. Baz Luhrmann, he's directing it. He wrote the script. Also, there's a couple other cast members who were announced, such as Kelvin Harris Jr. as BB King, Richard Roxburgh as Elvis's father, Vernon Presley, Cody Smith McPhee as country music legend Jimmy Rogers, who I don't even know who that is because I don't listen to country music. Yeah, I'm excited for it. So I might watch this. Even though I'm not the biggest Elvis fan, I think this might be worth a watch just because I think Baz Luhrmann, his style of directing is very glitzy and glamorous, as you can tell by The Great Gatsby and
Right.
Moulin Rouge and stuff like that. Any interest in this?
I mean, first I'd have to watch the trailer, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Trailers, I mean, they're meant to be hype. So I mean, it might be something that I would watch. I mean, if it came on like HBO, I'm not really too excited to see like Elvis, to be honest, because
Yeah.
that was like way before me, and then like I've heard about it, but I don't know. I would be interesting to see how they would tell the story of Elvis. That would intrigue me more than anything. So yeah, I mean, I'll check out the trailer and I might give it a watch for sure. But I don't know. Going to the movies, no, I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't do that.
I think definitely the visual aspect of it though might sell you a little bit more just because of how we talked about the directing style of
Right,
Baz Luhrmann, and it's very flashy and it's very glitzy and it's very
right.
what's the word
Yeah,
I'm looking for? Just
vibrant. Yeah, it's gonna
extravagant.
be one of those. Okay.
Yeah, not only that, but I wonder how they're going to tell the story of Elvis because as you may know, there has been a lot of like controversy surrounding his music in the sense that people said that Elvis was a racist and stole a lot of his music from black people. So I wonder if they're going to put that in at all, if they're even going to mention it.
They're probably gonna try to paint the picture of Elvis in the best way possible. They'll
Yeah.
probably have a little bit of, you know, down times, but they're not gonna completely butcher this man. That's
Yeah,
like Elvis is like America's, you know,
white America would
their
never stand for it.
their his guy. So like it's not they're not gonna slander Elvis. That's
Yeah.
never gonna happen. Um,
Exactly. I think
yeah,
if anything, this is just kind of telling more of like a fairy tale version
yeah,
of it.
right.
Uh
It's gonna be good though, for sure.
oh yeah, Baz
Um,
Luhrmann also did Romeo and Juliet, the modern one with Leo.
oh, yeah, I remember that one. I definitely remember.
Yeah.
I love that one. We watched that at school too.
Yeah, I
That was
watched that one
actually
in
a
school
really
too.
good one.
I remember the one thing that always takes me out of that movie is I think it's Juliet's dad. He's in the limo. He's like, "Let me reach for my sword," and he pulls out a gun, and
Hmm.
it's just like that kind of always like threw me off a little bit. Also, uh, John Leguizamo as Tybalt. Just I don't know. I couldn't take it seriously, even though I love John Leguizamo.
Right. Yeah, it's
But
gonna be interesting. That's gonna be
anyway,
interesting.
let's move on to our next story, to where we go from the past to the distant future. What's up with Cyberpunk?
So Cyberpunk. So the next gen versions, I'm guessing, is this too little or is this too late? Basically, everybody may be well aware of what happened with Cyberpunk. I think the world stopped when Cyberpunk came out and crashed, basically. But yeah, so Project Red, Cyberpunk 2077, it's finally, or might be finally, complete, right? So they had a massive update and the game rolls out. It's basically it's out now, right? It should
Yeah,
be out now, right? Okay, yeah, it's out for the PlayStation 5 and the Series S and X. And so this is, and they showed actually a couple of scenes where they showing it from like what it looks like on the PS4 versus the PS5, and they're running at 60 frames per second, which is looking immaculate, looking really good. So I just don't know. However, with Cyberpunk, with getting the 60 frames, does it save it? However, it might, in my opinion. I might go back and definitely try that. So the next gen update comes alongside with Ballyhood patch of 1.5, which clocks at 50. What is it? 50 gigs, and
yeah.
among other things, features a reworked perk system. Some skills are getting enhanced, while others are getting removed from the skill tree entirely. So if you're dusting off your whole save file, yeah, you might want to get those perks in R signs for sure. So I mean, just to give an opinion, a little bit of Cyberpunk. The game was still amazing to me, to be honest with you. I enjoyed playing it. And on PS5, it was not as buggy as a lot of people were getting it on like PS4 and the other consoles. So I'm actually happy that they finished the game. Um, and I don't think that people are going to be happy to necessarily go back and play it because gamers are kind of sensitive in a manner of how can I put this? Once I play a game and I play it for the first time, this is my impression that I'm getting from you, from
Yeah.
your company, from your game that you're putting out. I'm excited for this. I've been waiting, and then you give me crap. So why would I go back and invest, another 60 plus hours into this game when I can go and just play other ones that are basically done? And it's kind of like, they're saying sorry and they've tried everything and they've tried to stay relevant. And I think it's worth, in my opinion, to go back and actually check it out. Because a lot of people still they played through the glitches and they finished it.
Yeah.
So do they go back and actually play a finished game? So I think for 75% of the population, they're probably not going to go back and play it.
Did
That's my
you
opinion.
did you beat it? Did you? 'Cause you
I
said
did
you
not
played
beat
it.
it. I did not
Okay.
beat it. I stopped playing it, and there was there was a couple of bugs that I had, but I just stopped playing it not because I didn't like the game. I
Yeah.
just lost kind of some interest in the game.
Okay.
But it still was good though. It
Yeah.
was actually good. It's one that I had to come back and I got to go back and play it. But
Okay. Yeah. Because I ended up beating it. I thought it
you
was.
ended up beating it,
I thought it was good. I basically took it as this is basically a Bethesda RPG. It's buggy, but it plays almost the same. It's
right?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good game. It wasn't like amazing. They definitely overpromised on that game.
Yeah, definitely
Definitely.
oversold.
They
Yeah, they
they said it
definitely
was gonna
oversold.
change like video games, and it really didn't. It was a solid Bethesda RPG, and I think like you said, like because if you look at something like No Man's Sky, to this
Mhm.
day people still think, oh, that game came out and it was crap. But no, they directors added more. They they developers added more stuff. They made more content. They added more modes, and now people say that No Man's Sky, is an amazing game. But to this day, it still has that stigma.
Right. Exactly. That's why most companies I mean, I know that a lot of companies they go under crunch and they got to get deadlines because it's a business as well as, they're trying to feed to the consumer. However, business need to step back and understand that, yeah, if you're throwing out games that are not finished, you're damaging your company like more than anything. It may not be right then and there, but over time, your reputation is going down. Like you just said, Bethesda, it's coming out as a buggy game. we as consumers should not expect to get a Bethesda game that's buggy. We should expect to get a large game that's actually finished. If it takes 15 years to make the game finished, make it finished. And then when we get it, we're happy because we're playing it flawlessly. And of course, hopefully they don't take 15 years to freaking finish a game, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, but still, that's how I feel on that matter. Like, just finish the game, give us a finished product. Stop rolling out so many patches. A patch should just be that. Like, they're just patching maybe one glitch that may have happened. Patch that, but we still get a finished product. And right now, and I know we're going to touch upon Horizon later. However, that game, as of right now, feels finished.
Yeah. And we talked about this earlier. There's so many games to play right now. Why would I want to go back and play your buggy game or the game that you fixed when Horizons come out or any other, game that's coming out that is
Exactly.
coming out and not having these issues, because time is money and no one likes to waste money.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Point exactly.
All right. Let's move on to the next one, which is Peacemaker. Have you seen this show?
My friends, everyone keeps telling me to watch Peacemaker.
I'm the same.
I've seen
Hey,
like
man.
clips of it. Everyone keeps telling me to watch it, and I'm just like, I will. I'll get
Have
to it.
you seen the Suicide Squad?
Yes, I've seen Suicide Squad.
Okay, cool. Because when I heard about this, I was like, that's kind of weird that they're gonna make a Peacemaker spinoff show. But when I saw the movie,
Mhm.
I was like, all right, I'm sold on this because I thought John Cena was hilarious in that film.
He definitely was.
Yeah, I think he was one. Well, that movie just in general was really good. But so apparently it is really good because Peacemaker's getting a second season. HBO has come out saying that there's going to be a second season of James Gunn's spinoff for their streaming service. The Suicide Squad spinoff series launched in January and it got strong reviews, with John Cena reprising his role as a brutish yet charming government assassin, Chris Smith, aka Peacemaker. Now, and he's paired with a team of like the IT guys from the Suicide Squad movie on a mission to save the world from an alien invasion. So, I'm excited for this. Also, there has been talk that James Gunn has other DCEU spin-offs in the works. So, we know that Marvel, he's doing Guardians 3 for Marvel right now.
Mhm.
But he's also gone on record to saying that Guardians 3 is going to be the last Guardians movie involving that core team of like not Chris Pratt. I was gonna say Chris Lord, Star Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot. So these like basically saying like we could still have Guardians, but it just won't be these Guardians. And
Right.
with that, we don't know that if he's gonna be involved with creating another Guardians team. I mean, as much as I'm pretty sure we both really enjoy the MCU, right? But they're almost kind of like a factory at this point, where they can like plug in people and still make a quality product for the most part, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I would say that is James Gunn moving away from Marvel so he could take over a lot of the DC stuff. I mean, I think they would need it, right? What do you think?
I definitely think they would need his expertise in DC. But I mean, that's the thing though. Is he going to be shooting for movies or more along the lines of like series? Because I think majority of people say that their series or their animated series are just they're way better than their movies. I mean, their DC is good for, Batman, but I mean, Suicide Squad was actually really good. I liked it. It was way better than the first one, I thought. And so I think that they need that to combat with Marvel, because Marvel is just freaking outstanding, and it makes sense because they can lose him now with the Guardians, and they've finished their third series, whichever, and the Doctor Strange is coming out, and with the multiverse it just makes sense. Like they don't need they can, like you said, take them out, plug in some other ones, and it'll work smoothly.
Yeah.
So I think DC needs that. I think that'd be a good change. But what would he work on? What would you like to see him working on?
Oh, mm, it's interesting. So James Gunn, because he said that he likes to work with kind of like the lesser known
Hmm.
lesser known characters, so that's why he did Suicide Squad.
Right.
But in my opinion, if he could, and he kind of did some of it with the last movie, but I don't know if you've heard of this comic series called The Secret Six.
No, I have not.
So the Secret Six is essentially, think of like a bunch of villains who are like lowest of the low, like F D tier like villains, kind of like the Suicide Squad, but even
Mhm.
lower. And they essentially take on the Injustice League because they basically no one takes them seriously. So
Oh wow.
it's really it's really dope. It's Deadshot is probably the biggest guy on there. But if they were to do Deadshot, oh god, please recast him. I do not care for the Will Smith Deadshot. That was not Deadshot. That was just Will Smith holding a gun.
I don't think Will Smith wants to do another Deadshot.
Well,
So.
actually, Will Smith came out and said, "Oh, they should release the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad, the first one."
Oh, okay.
So kind of like the Snyder cut. So maybe he does still have love for that series, or maybe he
Or
still
maybe they just didn't cut it right.
yeah,
And they didn't make him shine the way that he wanted his character to shine on there.
or maybe Hollywood gossip, but maybe he wants to just work with Margot Robbie some more.
Maybe. I mean, I don't
Like,
know. I don't too much care about it. I would like to see Will in Marvel. Bring him
but
over to
yeah,
Marvel.
who could he play in Marvel?
I don't know. Who could he
No,
play? I don't know.
we'll see. We'll
They'll
see.
find something. They could definitely find something.
All
They
right.
have what I no, never mind. There's a character, but I don't
Who
know.
could he play? Who? Can you think of one?
I can't remember his name exactly, so I don't want to say it, and I can't remember his name. But he's blue. Is that
Blue
Marvel or is
Marvel?
that DC? Hmm?
Is it Blue Marvel?
Is it Blue Marvel? I thought. Yeah, he's like kind of older, right?
Blue Marvel. Because I think he might be in. I think it is. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
Blue
what I'm
Marvel.
thinking of. Blue Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
think he could play Blue Marvel.
I think they were hinting at him being in the new Captain Marvel movie because
Hmm.
it's called The Marvels, so
Yeah,
it's like Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and they're probably gonna throw in some more Marvels in there. So
yeah.
it could be.
I would like to see Will Smith. He can be Blue Marvel.
Oh yeah, Zombie Bait said Blue Marvel. My name is Earl. Said we need a Far Sector movie. What is Far Sector? I am not picking up on that. Remind me. Anyways, let's move on from the DC to Sega. What's up with
Oh,
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sega. All right, so we all know Knuckles is coming. All right, you guys are hyped for it. I'm hyped for Sonic. I like the first one actually, with everything that Jim Carrey did and just them remaking the Sonic character. So what's going on with this? So even though the second film does not come out into the spring, so Paramount Pictures and Sega Corp are moving fast to build their growing Sonic the Hedgehog universe projects in both films and TV realms. So basically, it looks like Sega and Paramount is preparing to already release a third feature film into the franchise. I'm gonna pause there because even though the first one it was so good in my opinion, with the second one bringing Knuckles, Tails, and everything like that, they already know that this one is going to be a huge hit, especially with Idris Elba playing as Knuckles.
Yo,
So this one is going to be. My son is excited and pumped to watch this. He's like, they have Knuckles and they have Tails. I want to see this in the theaters day one release. Like he's 6 and he's already pumped for it. So their numbers are gonna do numbers first weekend, as long as they play it correct with not releasing around certain movies. And so with that, people are gonna want a third one. So I think it's good in that manner that they're already thinking towards the future. I don't think that it's pulling the gun too early, to be honest. However, I mean, we still have to get some of the reviews from it. The story still has to be pretty decent. And if
yeah,
the third one bombs and it tanks, well, as third movies tend to do that, it's okay. They probably made their money back and tripled that with what they're gonna do in number two.
yeah.
So and also just to note as well, so the announcement was made during Tuesday's Viacom investor event, where Brian Robbins, president and CEO, Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon chief content officer, movies and kids and family Paramount Plus, delivered the news during this presentation. Um, so they're also, yeah, that's what they're doing. They're developing the first ever original live action Sonic series. And launched in 2023. And this feature the character Knuckles, with Idris Elba returning the voice and the role after he debuts in this movie that's coming up in April. So yeah, I think milk it for what it's worth. I don't see a problem with it. It's Sonic. They actually listen. Knuckles looks phenomenal. Um, everyone else is making series. Why not make more money? Could Sega actually make a good amount of money by doing this? Could we see I don't know. It's speculation at this point. Could they milk it for what it's worth and bring out a new console and take a risk? Maybe.
I don't know about that one, dog.
That's a long shot, but I mean Dreamcast was ahead of its time. So I mean I would love to see Sega make a comeback. Everyone else is.
I don't know if you saw this in the news. I didn't put this in the show, but it came out last week that Sega is actually leaving the arcade business, and Sega was one of the leaders in the arcade business. You know, not here really, but in Japan. They're shutting down their arcade section, which, you know, I don't know if they would be willing to go into consoles now, especially with essentially every console. I wouldn't say it's failing, but you know, because of COVID and market demands, like
Right.
they can't make enough unless you're Nintendo. But that's because Nintendo's working on old tech that would be easier to mass produce.
I mean, I would say PlayStation's doing pretty good with their sales. I mean,
They
can't
are doing good. But the problem is that they can't keep up with demand.
Yeah, I mean, they can't keep up with the demand, which is, I mean, it's a double-edged sword in my opinion. I know we're going off topic, but it's in my opinion, it's a double-edged sword. Like the people are wanting it and they're needing it and they're dropping games out and they're still supporting the PS4. People want the PS5 and they're gonna keep buying it, and eventually it's gonna catch up. But I mean, I think that if Sega decided to come out with a console, it wouldn't be anytime soon. It would have to be like when the next gens would be popping off. I mean, it would have time. I would love to see them make a comeback, to be honest. But I mean, like you said, they may not. They may not take that risk,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. But I would love to see another Sonic game actually done correct. And then
I'm excited
that
'cause
ahead.
what do they do with the third movie if Knuckles is in this one? Is Shadow? Is Shadow the Hedgehog in the third movie?
I think it would have to be. I'm trying to think. I mean,
Metal Sonic, maybe? Actually, yeah, I would
I
rather.
don't know. I would love to see Shadow. Yeah.
I think I'd rather. see
I
Metal
don't think
Sonic.
anything else but Shadow. Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't
Do
think.
they
I
bring
think
in?
that's
Do they bring in Amy? Do we bring in Big the Cat? What else do we do with this?
do they bring in Amy for the second one? I mean,
Maybe.
with that, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already bringing in Knuckles. I mean, they could easily bring her in.
I
But
mean,
maybe
'cause, like,
not.
I would say
There's
the first
plenty.
movie was solid.
Yeah.
It was a solid movie. You know, it's a very good kids movie.
Right.
I would say, right? And
Yeah.
you know, them having that surprise at the end with Tails in it was like that was the like because everything else
yeah.
was kinda like it was funny, it was fun. My name is Earl in the chat says I hope it's not or fingers crossed it's not another damn road trip movie with the fastest thing alive riding in a Ford F-150, which makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. My name is Earl says I think the real question is can we get Coolio to do the whole soundtrack?
Oh my gosh. That's
Zombie
hilarious.
Bait says Werewolf Sonic, here we come. And then my name is Earl says Sonic anime movie is still top tier with Australian Knuckles. I've seen bits of the anime Sonic movie, but I haven't seen the full thing. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on from
Oh yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog to the Super Bowl. Now, we all know the Super Bowl was the Los Angeles Rams playing in their home stadium against the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a close game where the LA Rams won 23-20 over the Bengals. Now, you see me, right? Me as a diehard Niners fan, I wanted to see the Rams lose because I hate them. I hate them. I hate Matt Stafford. I hate Aaron Donald. I hate Cooper Kupp. I hate Andrew Whitworth. I hate
Oh my.
I hate all of them. All of them. They should have been us. We should have been there. But, basically, and I could say that this isn't even me being kind of a hater. Kind of a little bit.
There was
But
a
that-
lot of hate. You said that is not me being a hater. There was a lot of hate there.
But all that aside, that holding penalty in the red zone, that was some BS. I think the Bengals should have had that stop. It should have been fourth down instead of the refs giving the Rams like 8 different chances to score in the end zone. I think that was complete BS. Whatever, sports are all rigged. Let's talk about the one thing that matters the most: the halftime show. Yo, the halftime show. If you didn't watch or if you didn't know, it was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, with a special appearance or a special feature from 50 Cent. And if you were eagle-eyed, you also saw Anderson .Paak there playing the drums. So, what'd you think of the halftime show?
It's freaking amazing. It's
Yeah,
one of the
it's
best halftime shows I have seen. Yeah, since I've been watching the halftime shows, like at Super Bowl, like that's the best one hands down. Like I mean, they had a list, celebrities on the stage, and I mean, you got Dre that's touched every single one of them. I mean, you couldn't ask for nothing better, and I mean, everything was it just flowed nicely. It just flowed extremely nice, and yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it. And to touch upon what you said as well about the Rams, man, I was hurt as well about about their win because my family is from like Cincinnati, and so I was going for the Bengals strictly on that. And
Everyone was.
yeah, and so I didn't believe that they should have been getting that many calls, but I mean, a lot of their arguments would have been, well, that was a face mask when they scored the touchdown, and
Yeah.
that was their get back. But I mean, like, all right, yeah, you got them a pass interference that got them basically towards the goal line, but then you started throwing more flags to make sure they get into the end zone, and that one was kind of bogus to me. I was like, all right, this is getting kind of outrageous at this point. But I mean, Bengals did have a chance, they just didn't make it there.
Yeah. I mean, you got to
but-
give credit to the D-line of the D-line of the Rams that they were basically always getting to Burrows. Like they sacked him like in the second half, they sacked him like 6 times.
Yeah, fatigue set in.
Yeah,
Fatigue
no.
set in for their O line. They weren't ready. And their D line was just they were getting in there. But yeah, it's all right though. It's not the end of the world. I don't think the Bengals get there next year anyways. But I mean, it was a great run. Maybe
Yeah.
they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
I mean,
But yeah,
Yeah.
with the halftime show though, man, it was phenomenal. I would have loved to hear some new music from Kendrick. I'm gonna be honest, but I
Right.
understand why they couldn't. Also Eminem taking a kneel.
Yeah.
That was actually, iconic in a lot of ways. I heard that he was told not to kneel at all, and he definitely hit a kneel. And despite everything, he probably got fined. Who cares? Like he's Eminem. He'll
yeah.
make it back.
And
And so
I didn't realize this but in Kendrick doing All Right, it was censored in the part where he goes, and we hate popos.
oh
Wanna
yeah,
say
it was
something? Yeah,
definitely censored. Oh yeah,
That was
but
like-
that goes back to NWA.
Was
But that goes back to NWA, and you got Dre on the stage that actually fought with that. So
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they're going to censor that because it's a sensitive subject when you talk about law enforcement, and especially
Yeah.
on that large of a stage when you got millions and millions, probably billions, watching the show.
and
I
the
mean, watch-
NFL.
yeah, and it's the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they don't care. They don't care.
They don't. Honestly, also one thing for me also is I wish Eminem did another song besides "Lose Yourself." I mean, I know why he did it; it's his biggest song.
It's his biggest song, yeah.
But like, I think that song's kind of played. Hey, you know the song? Do you know the song "Dreams and Nightmares" by Meek Mill?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So one of my friends posted a meme that said, "Lose Yourself is the white people version of Dreams and Nightmares." And I started dying. I was like, "Oh God, he's right."
Yeah.
But yeah, Zombie Bait in the chat says they couldn't censor Dre and Snoop though. That's true, they didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe because he did it in the beginning and they weren't ready. The censors weren't ready.
Yeah, they were
But
probably ready. Yeah.
I don't know. My name is Earl says Kendrick's song choice deserves more attention than Eminem's Damn Neil. Yeah, I mean, to me, the Kendrick part was my favorite part of the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kendrick hands down, but I'm more or less I want I want more Kendrick. I want new Kendrick. Like, all right, I'm happy that he's out there. Yeah, they pulled him away. Bring more Kendrick. But yeah, I think Kendrick needs definitely that recognition, for sure. But
Dope.
Eminem is Eminem. I mean, he's gonna be, he's up there, and for him to at least take the nail and make a stand, I mean, that is good. He said
All
cancel.
right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something a little bit different.
Oh,
from the
before we
NFL.
go there,
Oh, what's up?
how'd you feel about 50 hanging upside down?
They should have had Bizarre up there too. Man,
Dude.
God, I can't even imagine how uncomfortable that must have been.
An 18-year-old classmate in my class at college. One of them asked, like, "Hey, why was 50 Cent upside down though?" I'm like, "Oh man, I am so old."
Back in this day, boy, that was it though. That video was crazy good. That video
Yeah.
was crazy good.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
the fact that when we saw him upside down, we got hyped, like, "Oh snap!" it's
Oh yeah, I
50."
got hyped instantly.
We're
I was
like,
like, wait a minute,
"Oh!"
he's doing it?
He's upside down.
I was
Yeah.
scared he's gonna fall though. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's a lot of weight holding him there. Like weighing him down right now. Sheesh.
It's worth more than 50 Cent now. Anyways,
God.
All right, so yeah, my fault. You were transitioning. My bad.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We're moving from the NFL to another large corporation, Disney. What's up with Disney? What did they just show off to us?
And I just freshly watched this trailer of Chip and Dale. This was a childhood favorite from a lot of people. Chip and Dale was actually, really good. A lot of kids liked it. Me personally, I didn't watch too much Chip and Dale. But everyone knows who Chip and Dale is. And so a new trailer for Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers has been unveiled. And it looks kind of bizarre. And bizarre in the manner, let's see, it's like 2D meets CG. And the way they incorporate everything, it kind of intrigued me. Like, I'm kind of excited to see the movie after watching the trailer. And I know that's kind of weird, because it shouldn't be my kind of movie. I'm gonna take my son in disguise, like I'm not excited to see it, but I'm actually kind of excited to see it. The fact that they had a CG jacket that looked 3D, like looked like it belonged in the world, on a 2D character, was like kind of mind blowing. I didn't see that coming, and it kind of worked.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked. And I was like, all right, this is interesting. And I kind of want to see more of this now, because it seems like this movie is more or less jumping in, and they brought back Roger Rabbit. Like, it's jumping into a realm of they're trying new and different things in the animation world. And I'm liking it, and I'm very much intrigued, and I want to see it, not only because it looks like it's going to be a good movie, but because of what they're going to be doing with CG and with everything else. And the story can be what it is, but I'm very much intrigued to see that. And so yeah, announced last year during Disney's Plus Day as well. So the upcoming Chip and Dale reboot is going to return two favorites, Chipmunks, rather than the straightforward Chip and Dale animated movie. And so yeah, it's I mean, what's your opinion about this?
I mean, I think for you, first of all, you don't have to go in disguise because it's going to be on Disney Plus, so you just watch it from the comfort of your own home. And then two, I'm excited for this because I did love Chip and Dale, but more importantly, the way they're doing this to me is very Roger Rabbit. And the exciting part is if this succeeds, if this is big, could they bring back Roger Rabbit? Like, could they do more of these? Because I would love to see a Roger Rabbit sequel. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Right.
And I love what they're doing because kind of the jokes, like with I think it's Dale having being CG and the other one being 2D. and them treating like CG as if it was like plastic surgery. Like, oh yeah, like
Right.
you know,
Got it
everyone
done.
knows I got the CG treatment and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I don't know, I'm really excited for it. It's maybe it's a little bit wacky, a little bit too meta, but I think it works. And they also kind of take kind of not I don't want to say shots, but they kind of make fun of like early 3D CG where they try to make stuff realistic with that Seth Rogen character
Oh
where he
yes.
kind of looks like a Viking character.
Mhm.
And they have him doing the Seth Rogen like laugh.
Right.
I I'm super excited for this, and it comes out I think May 20th.
Yeah, May 20th.
So it's we don't have to wait that long for it to come out.
Yeah, a few months away. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and
I mean, this is something like I said, I'm gonna throw on still. I'm just still gonna throw on for my son, and
yeah,
he's still gonna watch it. But I mean, I'm gonna watch it just purely off of just being intrigued about it. But I mean, I don't know. And they also hint towards, them making reboots, and they're like, do we need another reboot? People don't want this reboot. But I mean, you see this with Hollywood and with all types of movies and everything now. They're trying to actually venture out from like the early 90s, late 80s, and they're grabbing characters that that were icons back then that actually shaped in a time where people weren't all engulfed in their phone. People actually watched TV, people actually watched these shows, people invested time in these characters, and a lot they're trying to just bring back. To be honest, same like with the Matrix, like
yeah,
they're trying to bring these things back. Do we necessarily need this? Well, I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. For the kids now, my will my son be excited about it? He'll watch it. Um, I think it'll be good though. I
Maybe
think it'll be good.
maybe it'll get him to watch the old series, the '90s one. Who knows?
Maybe.
We'll see
It's
how.
because he's a little different. Like, so
Yeah.
he won't even go back and watch One Piece. And I
Ah,
tried to.
ah, ah,
It's so like he loves My Hero. And like he's like, man, how old is One Piece? Like I was like, all right, it's kind of old, but still. Like he
yeah.
watched one of the most recent ones that I had on, and he's very still reluctant to go back and actually watch some of the older ones. So I don't know. I tried to get him to watch like Spider-Man, the 90, like the animated series back in the 90s. He
Yeah.
kind of wanted to watch it. So I don't know. These kids nowadays are kind of built different.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're necessarily you're trying to reboot something, but you're really trying to touch that child of people that actually watched it back then that have kids now. You're trying to reach in their pockets. Even with it being in Disney Plus, they still have to, put it out there. They still have to get views. So
My name
I
is
don't know. We'll
Earl in
see.
the chat. Says still waiting on that Darkwing Duck reboot.
Hey, now that I can get behind.
Actually, if you watch the new DuckTales, there is like Darkwing Duck, like basically a reboot within that show.
Mm,
So yeah, so it's there, not fully there, but it's kind of there. So
I
yeah,
can get behind that. I can get behind that. I would love that, to be honest.
all right.
I still remember the song.
Let's get dangerous.
Man, that would be dope.
Damn kids for not liking the shit I liked 30 years ago.
Yeah, what's wrong with you kids? You don't
All
know
right,
you don't know what we grew up on.
let's move on. Excuse me. Uh,
Oh, bless you.
whoa, woo!
Bless you.
Someone's talking about me. That's what's happening.
So
That's the old wives' tale, right? If you start sneezing a lot, it's because someone's talking about you.
I think so.
Someone's
Mhm.
talking shit.
whose wives are you talking to?
Yeah. Anyways, shut up, Mikey. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so let's go off what it says on not on the dock, but on the thing. It's Nintendo. So, Nintendo is basically announced that they are closing down the eShop for its Wii U and 3DS consoles. Now, here's kind of the timeline because it's a multi-stage thing. So, as of May 23rd, 2022, it will no longer be possible to add funds using a credit card to a 3DS and Wii U shop account. Now, in August 29th of 2022, it will no longer be possible to use an eShop card to add funds. However, it is still be possible to redeem download codes. And then as of March 2023, it will no longer be possible to make purchases, download demos of themes, redeem a download code, or add funds. Now, here's the thing. So when you discount, with the discontinuation of the Wii U and the 3DS shop, basically it'll remove 1,799 titles that are currently on the eShop. That includes a Virtual Console, some 3D classic remakes. Essentially, a lot of these games are going to be lost. Now, here's another thing. Back in the day, or not back in the day, back before this announcement was made, in Nintendo's FAQ segment on their website, it basically said that they have an obligation to classic game preservations. Now, it's deleted, and now it says that Nintendo currently has no plans to offer classic content in other ways, which can be kind of shitty because I don't know if you knew this, but did you ever play or hear about the old Scott Pilgrim game back in the day?
I heard about it. I was about to buy it actually. But it was a good game. Actually, a good game.
Yeah. So they came out with it for the PS3, and there was a lot of licensing involved with Ubisoft, the creators of the show, or not the show, the comic book, and I don't know who else, but there was like a bunch of legal rights tied up, and because of that, that game could never. Well, let me get to it. That game wasn't able to be ported to other systems, and essentially, if you never bought it because it was discontinued from the eShop or from the PlayStation Store or whatever store, then it was gone forever. Now, they did bring it back. Limited Run Games did bring it back. But with Nintendo, you never really know when they're ever going to come back with some of these stuffs. Especially for consoles like the 3DS, who had like the unique, 3D screen and the dual screen. That's just not something you can port over to the Switch. So a lot of these games are just going to be gone for good. And people are essentially like mad about it. What do you think?
I mean, it's all things got to come to an end. So I mean, people are going to be mad. They're going to hurt people, but people are like the majority of people are, they're going to move on. They'll get over it. But I mean, this in a certain sense, I mean, yeah, they're gonna make some people mad. But I mean, what gaming company is not gonna make some people mad with this? But I mean, you can't support everything forever. So that's my opinion on that. To be honest with you, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it. I think Nintendo needs to be thinking of moving forward. So I'm not heard about it, but I mean, if you're, still a consumer of something that's back then it may affect you in a different manner. But I'm not, so it's like I feel a little differently about everything. So
what do you say about? Because Sony almost did something like this. I don't know if you remember this story, but they were going to close down the PS Vita, the PSP, and the PlayStation 3 store, and fans got mad, and Sony relented. They were like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna look at this," and I think they kept they're gonna keep the PS Vita store up and the PS3 store up, but the the PSP store I think is about to shut down. But I do agree on your point about you can't support anything forever. I think for me, the one thing that they could do is give kind of a longer what's the word? A longer time frame or warning. Yeah, something like saying, "Hey, next year, this is going to start happening." Not like, what is it, March or May? Maybe look back, or May of this year, because then you have places, because there are organizations that are dedicated to the preservation of old video games.
Mm-hmm.
Then they would give them enough time to accumulate the funds and be able to download stuff and get all the stuff preserved, so it's not lost forever. You feel me? So I think you're right in the sense that you can't support everything at all times, But if they were able to, give a longer warning, then we can get some people to start, buying these games so it could be preserved, so it's not lost forever.
Right. And I get that. I mean, however, people are still going to be unhappy.
Oh.
Like, people are still going to miss the message. People are still not going to be aware of it. People may not even be aware of this now.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that you're bringing it to the attention, like, it's going to still be news to people. Like, people are gonna be like, wait, what's happening? And I mean, to that aspect, people are still, they're probably not buying up a lot. Like, you got to think of, like, from a business aspect, like, they're probably crunching numbers like crazy. Like, how much are they spending to actually keep this viable for people to grab? And is it worth keeping it there just to keep, you know, 2,000 people happy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Like, is that worth it?
I think that's when Nintendo and Sony and all these companies look at what's the bottom line, what's the bottom dollar. It's
Right.
corporations too.
Right. I mean, they can always, if there are games that need to be preserved, they have the ability to, if there's enough of a core audience, if there's enough people that want these types of games and they want them, then they can always bring those back. It's never stuck in stone where it's lost forever. Like, I mean, unless it's one of those, Japanese games that people just don't have. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, that's tough to find. Like, but they make these, if they're like Shenmue, if there's a high demand for Shenmue, like, they brought it back. You know what I mean? Like games like that, they'll bring those back and they're not lost forever. But I mean, I see it from a business aspect. I think Nintendo is making a good decision because I haven't fired up my 3DS in like God knows how long. Like, so I wouldn't even like, I'm not hurt about it, to be honest. But
Now, Zombie Bait in the chat says, I think the issue is that Nintendo historically doesn't have access to their older games and a history of shutting down ways for people to access the older games, which is another thing. That's why a lot of people were like, you know what? We're just going to pirate everything. So now, I'm not saying I support that or condone it, but that's what I've heard people say on the internet. Anyways, let's move on. So we go from, speaking of pirating, we go to a movie about a guy who knows a little bit about a pirates. What's up with the Uncharted movie?
oh yeah, so Uncharted 4. So basically, everyone's familiar with the series. Well, maybe not everyone is familiar with the series of Nathan Drake. But I mean, it's a fantastic series. If you haven't played it yet, just trust me, pick it up, play it. However, movies are a different thing. All right, giving a movie or great story in a game is one thing. Actually making a movie out of it, it's another. I'm still excited to see it because I love the character. I love the series. I love the movie. I mean, I love the games. I don't know if I'm gonna actually love the movie. I'm still gonna watch it though.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But so I mean, basically, and yeah, you have Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg. Uh, I don't know if I agree with him being Sully, but I mean, it is what it is. It's definitely coming out. However, is this going to be good enough to get a sequel? Is the great question to this movie, considering the fact that let's see, and it's coming out. Oh, it's out. I'm sorry. The Guardian gave it a 2 out of 5. Let's see what the Guardian had to say. The lovable rogue bop around from glamorous location to glamorous location, and the whole thing runs smoothly enough with some spectacular touches. And Holland gives it all. Or I'm sorry, gives it his all. But the rest of the cast looks a little less committed. An efficient, soulless hologram of a film. That is strong words. Those are strong words
Yikes.
for a movie. Yeah, that's kind of yikes. Like, of course, Tom Holland, he's got his, his back that he's got to cover. But I mean, he's got Spider-Man to fall back on. I still would love to see it. And I haven't seen it as of yet, and it came out on February the 18th. If anybody still want to see it, but I mean,
I posted up the review scores on the doc, but I also saw a couple video reviews by people who are more of like gaming press and like gaming sites, and it seems like people who are fans of the games, they give it a little bit more of a like. They're a little less harsh on it. They're like saying like,
right.
yeah, it's not great, but it's got cool moments, and if you're a fan of the series, like you'll catch like little things, and it's like they basically say like it's worth like matinee price.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I agree with that. So critics are harsh. All
Yeah.
right. So critics are harsh. We have to understand this. They're critics are looking at movies in a different lens. They're looking at it for not just, oh, was it good? They're looking at cinematography. They're looking at so many things that would make this film great. And with us just loving the series, loving the games, we're gonna look at this with fresh eyes, and we're gonna hope for that same excitement, those key moments where he's almost about to die, but he clings on to life. The aspect of actually finding the puzzles, finding the lost treasure, like just being in that type of world. That's something that people would love. I mean, I still haven't seen it. I'm still gonna go see it. I can't wait. Actually, I probably am gonna see it today, or I mean tomorrow, or something like that.
Yeah.
To be honest. And I mean, let's look at it. I look at it like this as well. People don't even like Bel Air, right? Bel Air is a new show that just came out. I looked at the reviews before watching the show for myself. This is why I don't go by critics. I go by my own personal experience, and then I go and I watch reviews, and then I listen to the critics, because critics make a large difference when you look up a game, or I mean a movie, and you're trying to figure out if you should buy it or if you should go and watch this and spend actual money and time. Their views matter, and if they shit on, I'm sorry, if they sorry, if they just completely bomb it, it's like, all right, now people are gonna see it and they're like, it's bad, I'll just wait to DVD, and I'll just watch it then. And then their numbers do bad, and it may as well, if you go and watch it, you be like, man, I really actually enjoyed that. I wish I kind of would have seen that in theater.
Wait,
um
you said you saw Bel Air. You liked it?
no, so I've watched Bel Air. The reviews were trash.
Yeah.
But I watched Bel Air. It was free on Peacock for the first episode. Peacock was free to download.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode, loved it, ended up
Mm.
subbing to the thing
Okay.
so I can watch the other episodes. And had I not did that, and I just listened to the critics that actually gave it bad reviews,
Uh-huh.
then I would have missed out on that experience.
Yeah.
So that's why you probably see a lot of the people that are not actually movie critics that are on there, that's seen that they've played the game. They give it a different, viewpoint and a different lens. It's
Yeah.
because they're actually, they can relate to it. That's how I see it. But
Right. Oh
I
no,
don't
man.
know. I don't know if it deserves a sequel. I don't know if I have to see the movie first, and then I can give you the honest opinion if it deserves a sequel.
Blair, man, I can't get over Buff Uncle Phil. I can't get over that. This shit's so weird to me.
I love it though, man. I love
Yeah.
it. I love how this is. I enjoy it. I like how Jeffrey is.
Yeah.
I the only person that I have an issue with is Carlton, and I think that's meant to be that way, because that's how it was back in the day. Carlton was that person. If you can understand that people were like, why are you like this? Like people from a certain neighborhood look at it as, yo, he's a person that I just can't get with. Like, I can't connect with that character. We're not supposed to connect with Carlton. Carlton is supposed to eventually come around to a person that we connect with.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're grasping, and that's what they're doing with the show. But that's getting off topic of Uncharted.
Yeah.
But it's another topic for another day.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, Uncharted, would it need a sequel? I like I said, I'd have to see the movie first. I don't believe in a whole bunch of video game movies unless they're done absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Um,
They're few and
but
far.
I mean, what, like they're doing The Last of Us? Like, is that necessary? But I don't want them to ruin it. But I mean, they're giving it more people. They're giving it more light. So I mean, it's. I guess what bad news is still great for them. Either way, people are gonna buy the games.
For sure. All right, let's move on to our my final topic, which is a big one. You said you're excited to talk about this.
Huge.
It is during the Super Bowl. At the very beginning of the Super Bowl, they showed off the trailer for Doctor Strange, for the new Doctor Strange movie, and the
Yes.
what is it? The Madness of the Multiverse, or the Multiverse of Madness? Right. The new trailer. It looks pretty wild. It's directed by Sam Raimi, who directed the original Spider-Man trilogy. It was written by the Loki showrunner Michael Waldron, which makes sense because Loki also kind of went into the whole multiverse thing, and you know, you have the concept of the multiverse as explained by the Ancient One to Bruce Banner in the Avengers Endgame to give it a little bit more of a fleshed out. So they've been planting seeds for this for a while, and you get pretty much a glimpse of Shuma Gorath, who is I think in the comic books he's a Doctor Strange villain. Also, you have, if you've seen the show What If, you see a variant of Doctor Strange where he just takes all the power, which, you know, shows that What If gets connected. You see Wanda in there, and Wanda is saying some things to where you're like, yo, like, is she going to be the villain of this? You don't really know. And then you hear a voice where he says, we should tell him the truth. And you think and you listen, and it's, oh snap, that's Patrick Stewart. And if you know Patrick Stewart played Professor Xavier in the X-Men movies. And you know, Kevin Feige has said they're going to bring X-Men into the MCU eventually. And not only that, but Zombie Bait in the chat says there are rumors that if you go through it, you see Deadpool in the trailer. So I don't know. What's your excitement levels? What have you seen about this?
So first off, I've seen them talk about they're possibly bringing the Illuminati in there. Who's gonna actually be sitting in the? There was breakdowns of who's actually sitting up in the chairs. When Doctor Strange is in there. Deadpool with the broken glass, because there's a picture of, I think it was like of the, I want to say the trailer poster or whichever that they have that has all the broken glass, and you can actually break down and see everything that's in there. And there's like a cameo of Deadpool like doing like this, you know, breaking the fourth wall and telling people to be quiet. Like he might be like it's just, there's a lot that's happening with this movie, and I'm excited to actually see this. They may actually even introduce like the Black Panther in this bad boy, the new Black Panther, whoever they're gonna have. There's just so much. Like I think I can't remember. Forgive me if I say the name wrong. Like Evil Wanda, whichever. Like I don't know who the villain's gonna be. I mean, either Scarlet. I'm sorry, Scarlet Witch. But I can't. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. But yeah, there's just so much. I'm excited for it, and I'm gonna let you go off on a tangent because I'm about to just go in.
Because you see like Mordo in the movie as well, but it's not. He doesn't look the same. He's got the longer hair with the dreadlocks, and you're like this. You don't. I mean, you could say that maybe it's the same guy, but I think it's a variant, right? It's got to be a variant. You got to introduce the variants. Not only that, but you know, talking about the Deadpool thing, Ryan Reynolds basically said that, "Oh, I'm not in the movie," but like they lie. Motherfucker be lying.
Yeah,
Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire lied out there, straight out their teeth,
right,
about No Way Home.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, America Chavez. America Chavez in there too. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's gonna be good. And he said, I saw the zombie was also saying they can bring back Killmonger. They could. In this alternate Killmonger could be the Black Panther. Like this could.
If you've seen, have you seen What If? Did you watch What If?
No, I have not watched What If. There's a lot of shows I have not seen.
Okay, I'm not gonna say nothing.
I've seen like one episode of What If. I've seen like one episode, and it was like, and I need to go back and watch majority of it. But I'm saving a lot of it. There's so much shows that I have to watch. It's crazy.
Because like What If, like I thought that it was like not that important to like the MCU, but this trailer shows that it could be. It could be.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of things that I think is important.
So I'm excited. I mean, we thought that No Way Home was like
Mind
this
blowing.
is just like
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
It's reorganizing how Marvel is going to be set up for the years to come. It's literally reorganizing what we're going to see and how we're touching these new universes and how we're going to, how they're going to portray the new characters, and they're given a chance, and this is a perfect opportunity for it, and I'm loving it. And
Yeah,
so I mean, this is one of those movies that is the medium point to the direction that Marvel is wanting to go to. And I think that everyone will need to see this movie if they're wanting to understand the new direction that Marvel is trying to go in. This is that movie, and
'cause
this is the opportunity.
I think Spider-Man was like, what happens when we get creaks and leaks in the multiverse? And I think
Oh,
this movie is gonna kick the door down.
did you hear the rumor
What?
about Tom, I think it was Tom Cruise being Iron Man?
I did hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, Tom Cruise with the with the goatee and everything. I could see it, like him
Yeah.
being a different Iron Man. That would be pretty cool. Um,
That would be yeah. And then they were saying something about I think it was Perfect Iron Man or something like that, that where he actually was able to perfect Ultron. That's why you see Ultron and them, like his bots
yeah.
walking Doctor Strange up. So like this universe is already like there's so much to it, and it's I'm at loss for. I just got to see the movie at this
I
point.
mean, not only that, but what was I gonna say? Um, one of the big criticisms of Marvel movies is the villains, right?
Hmm.
Either the fact that they're just like kind of bland or a copy of the hero,
Hmm.
or if they do have a good villain that they end up just dying. This could be a way to bring back all the good villains that have died. Like Zombie Bait said, not just Killmonger, but you can bring back uh, I forgot his name. Oh, you can bring back Ultron, right? This could be a perfect way to bring back Ultron. So essentially, I think this movie is gonna kick down the door, and this is how we get all the, because the original the Infinity Stone saga. I mean, we could get Thanos back somehow. Like this just leaves the door open for everything.
Well, if they do
So,
Thanos again, listen, if they do Thanos again, they have to bring and his name is slipping my mind. I can't believe I just blanked. He's the main person. Adam Warlock. They need I mean
yeah.
they have to bring Warlock. Like
Well,
the
Adam
fact that
Warlock.
they left Adam Warlock out of it was just mind-boggling to me. So like why is he not a thing?
Well, Adam Warlock is confirmed. Confirmed in Guardians 3.
Yeah, but I mean, why wasn't he a thing when
Before.
we needed? Yeah, before. Like
True.
that's
True.
fine that you bring him, but like he should have been there. Period. Like like you just I don't understand it. But I mean, this could have been like you said. They could bring Thanos back. This could have been the other universe. They could probably either bring it back X-Men. They could actually in the future do it right. Who knows? Who knows?
My name is Erlen Chet says they can bring back Thanos and have Doctor Doom kill him, and then reel that into a Fantastic Four movie. I mean, that'd be the
Doctor
perfect way to
Doom?
show Doctor Doom. Be like, yo, this is the guy. Yo, this is the guy. Y'all thought we were fucking with someone powerful before? I love Doctor Doom.
Yo, Victor Vaughn is the man, bro.
Like Doctor Doom is my favorite Marvel character. So if they do him right, they haven't been doing him right in those old Fantastic Four movies. But if they do him right, I'm so hyped.
Oh,
So let's cut it off there because I think we could go like we could probably go longer on this. But
that thing's amazing.
there's another topic at hand that I know you could go on for a while. So I'm gonna just let you go. Tell me about Horizon.
All right, let's go. Horizon Forbidden West. I've been playing this game,
Ooh.
okay, since day one. The game is fantastic in every aspect in my opinion. Like it not only feels like the old, and it's been a little bit since I played the other one because I had it on PS4, completed 100% everything. But I mean, it's still in the aspect feels like that, but there's a few new things that they put in there, and I mean, the game is performing flawlessly, in my opinion. There is a few things that that they could fix. I mean, sometimes like diving into the water or something like that, it feels a little, a little bit weird, but I mean, these are just nitpicking things. If you got it, the world looks beautiful. It's loading flawlessly on the PS5. Like there is no loading. It's just you're into the world, and I mean the world is huge. I and I mean you can see the reviews. I mean the reviews. I don't know what some of them are thinking, but like Stevie Vor giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Game Radar gave it a 4.5. GameStop gave it a 8 out of 10. But I mean, you got to think like I'm not trying to be biased towards it, but I mean, you already know you're going to get a great story out of this. And right now, as it started, I can't give away any spoilers, but the introduction to the game, even going through the tutorials of reintroducing you how to play it, it feels amazing, and it grabs you and it draws you in even if you didn't play the first one. It does a great way of explaining what happened, and not taking too much time, like drawing you in. I would still say play the first one.
Okay,
Hands
I was
down, I
about to
would
ask
say
you
play
that.
the first one. Yeah, I would still say play the first one because you need to fully understand what happened. It's not one of those joints where you can like jump into a Yakuza game and you can learn the backstory and go through that, and then you'll be okay with playing it. Because this one it's so in depth. You're gonna wanna play the first one. And so right now, and I can't give it a fair trial of giving it the score because I'm still like at the beginning of the game, and I'm gonna be playing some more today, all day, and I'm gonna be streaming it all day. Come through, and if you want to see why this game is amazing, then just come and watch. And I get lost in these worlds, and so it's everything that you would need out of an RPG, in my opinion. Um, so I think that, and I mean, the question asks, basically, is it going to be better than the first one already? I definitely feel like it should be ranked or scored higher, but it's hard with second games because the first one is so, how can I put, it's so amazing. Like it's
Yeah.
breathtaking. It's like it's something new that people didn't know that they wanted until they wanted it. Like until, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it broke the walls down, like kind of like how Uncharted did. Uncharted breaks the walls down. The Last of Us breaks the walls down. God of War, these games, when you play the first ones, it's like, man, all right, how are they going to redo this? Are they going to be better than? They have to find a way because now people are more analytical about how the game is playing or if the story is good. Now it's under a bigger microscope because they have to outperform the first one, which really, I mean, in my opinion, they've taken their time and they've it's probably going to be better in my opinion.
It's almost as if like making the sequel is harder than making the first one because, like you
Definitely.
said, the first one always catches people by surprise and it's not something you think you want.
Right.
But for the second one, you have to do that again, but better. And
Right.
sometimes even you can even sometimes make something like that but better and still fall short of expectations because people
Mhm.
always want you to innovate and iterate on something that they already had. So
Right.
it's definitely a juggling thing where you have to meet expectations but also do new stuff. And from what you're telling me, you're like, yo, in the way that from what you've played so far, you're telling me that it's on its way there. And
Yes.
you're
Yes.
like, yo, this is I'm like for you, right? It's just going like tick 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 tick, and you don't
It
know if
is.
it's gonna just shoot to the stratosphere or if it's gonna peter off. But from what you're telling me, it's just all uphill from here.
It is. I mean, and for me, it's the way that the world grabs you. I view games as differently because I get lost in the game and I love the gameplay and the fact of the creatures. All I can say is the new creatures that they have, like, and I've only fought one and I fought a few extra new ones, but I mean, and I'm playing it on hard. So like I wanted to challenge myself on this one because I know that I can play it on I can beat it. So playing it on hard gives it a new level of like respect as well. And it's just yeah, it's going up and I don't see it going down. And I only have like two types of arrow. I have three types now, but I only have like a few types and I can still just get more. And the exploration part of it, the way that you can get lost in this world, trust me, it's worth the hype for a reason. People are still going to be skeptical of it, but they haven't played. Some people haven't played the first one, so definitely, Mikey pulled a all nighter finishing it, so he's gonna be able to definitely.
Yeah, like
You definitely
the past
that.
the past few days, I've had over 10-hour sessions trying to beat the Frozen Wilds DLC on the first one because I was trying to rush to beat those games before it came out, and I just finished it yesterday. And I only got like
So-
about 3 hours into Forbidden West, but yeah, it is. I agree with everything you said. It is amazing.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure because I had a gap of playing from the first one, and I know you just like life beating the first one. So like coming off of that, you're like fresh onto it, but you can like you said you concur. There's definitely that difference of it, and I mean of course graphic wise,
Oh
they
yeah,
still look phenomenal on the PS4,
Mhm.
but PS5 on performance mode, it's crazy. It looks great.
yeah.
It
And
looks great.
what amazed me about the Forbidden West is that the consistency of the tone from the first game. Because I'm
Mhm.
coming straight off from the DLC straight into the sequel within an hour like gap in between. I didn't have to wait those like many years because I have never experienced the DLC until yesterday, and
Mhm.
it felt like it didn't feel like a different game, and I mean that in a good way, in a bad way too, because like yeah, it felt exactly the same as the first one with a few minor graphical improvements, but those minor graphical improvements made it a huge world of difference.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Yes, sir. All right. I think that'll be it for our subtopics. Now we will move on to our next segment. Mikey, could you please introduce us to our
Yeah.
next segment?
So, since we are talking about Horizon Forbidden West, and which is a PlayStation game, let me ask you guys, what are your top 5 PlayStation franchises of all time? And let's start with Tokyo's number 5.
Oh, all right. So you're on my top 5. All right. So I'm gonna start out. How you want me to go? They're in no chronological order.
Oh yeah, no,
to be
no,
honest with
Okay.
you.
no, yeah, yeah. It's not really
So
in any order. It's just like a top 5 in general.
top 5 in general, right?
Yeah,
So
we're gonna do like basically we'll switch off like your 5, my 5.
oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go that way. That's fine.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Persona.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna say Persona 5 in
Okay.
that aspect because I know Persona's it's ongoing, but Persona 5 for me was good, and I didn't start until like Persona. I want to say 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. But
Okay.
number 5 was like hands down from the music to the experience that I got through the game, from the day to day, from the grind, from the story. Like everything was a masterpiece to me, and that's what makes the game. Like that's what makes it.
You see, when I saw this on your list, I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." But I think for me, when I was making my list, I didn't think about that because I know that they had Persona like Q, the spin-off
Mhm.
series on like Nintendo consoles, and I didn't make that connection. That I mean, technically, it is a PlayStation franchise in the sense that for most console-wise, it's mostly been the main series has been on PlayStation, but just kind of the spin-offs kind of threw me off. But I do agree. If I if we if I didn't think about the spinoffs, I definitely would have had Persona in my top 5 as well.
Yeah, I'm considering it. I'm considering it PlayStation at this point. Like since that's my opinion.
All right. My number 5, a bit of a throwback. It is the Dark Cloud series. Have you ever played these games?
I've not played the Dark Cloud series. No.
I've never
Dark
heard of it.
Cloud. Wow, you haven't heard of Dark Cloud? Dark Cloud is essentially, well, these were big on the PS2. These are PS2 games. So it's been a while since there's been a Dark Cloud game. Created by Level 5, in conjunction with Sony. And it's, imagine kind of the town building and resource gathering of Minecraft with a dungeon crawler and some sim RPG elements in it. These games are fantastic. I honestly feel like if Sony would make another one of these, if they would get Level 5 to make another Dark Cloud, I think it would sell gangbusters because it's got Minecraft elements, it's got, you know, Monster Hunter elements, it's got RPG elements, and all of those things are incredibly like popular. And the second one to me is one of my favorite. It was probably in my top 3 Sony RPGs or PlayStation 2 RPGs. It's up there. And you know that the PlayStation 2 had some great RPGs. I love that series. It's one of my favorite series. The second game is one of my favorite games of all time. And I think it should come back. Dark Cloud. All right. Give me your number 4.
Number 4. I forgot to put numbers on these. I would say, I don't want to put this. Damn, there were so many of them. Yeah, I'll just go with regular Uncharted.
Okay.
Uncharted. Just I want to say because what took it off was the franchises. So Uncharted is just as a whole was a beautiful journey. To me, to be honest with you, like there was a lot of memories. I even played the one, like I think it was the Vita. I even played the one on the Vita. So I mean, I love the Tomb Raider aspect of the game, and you can't necessarily say that what Tomb Raider is PlayStation now because it branched off, but I like the fact of finding that treasure. The shooting was okay in the first one, but just everything about it like that drew me in. I was like, yeah, Naughty Dog definitely did their thing on this. So that is my number 4 on there. I mean, it's just beautiful, and I mean you can tell what there was five games. Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah, 5 with the Vita one. And also like you said, I think the shooting, the combat isn't the main focus, but the set pieces, amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like in the second game, because you said the first one, but I think as a whole, like you remember the car scene from number 4 when you're driving through the town. You remember in the first game the opening when you wake up and you're on that train. Like those are things that stick with you. Like, oh snap! Like how the games always kick off.
Oh yeah.
I definitely agree with you. I love Uncharted. It's not in my top 5, but that's just, I think it speaks to more of like the kind of games that I play. But I do love Uncharted. Now, my number 4 is another throwback. Who they had a revival. I'm waiting on that revival to continue, but it is the Sly Cooper series. I love Sly Cooper. It is one of my favorite series. I'm not really big on stealth games, but I think with Sly, the amount of moves that he has and the way the locales are built to where you have it's not really an open world, but you have the kind of this big playground that you have to, unlock abilities and find where the missions are. It's like almost like a mini GTA map. I love it so much. The stories are just, it's like 90s cartoons. They're fun, they're fast, they're frantic. I love Bentley. I love Murray. I love Sly. I love all the characters. And I think even like as a kid, in the first game, the main villain was like terrifying. Is a huge ass owl. Like that's not something I want to see at night. And in the second game, I thought the story was really good with like the twist villains and all that. I thought, and they did a good. They were able to subvert my expectations for the story on the second game, because at first it felt like more of the same, and then the story takes a turn, and you're like, oh, okay. I love the Sly games. 1, 2, 3, and 4, all amazing. I love Sly Cooper. In fact, if you were to ask me who's my favorite lovable thief, it wouldn't be Nathan Drake. It would be Sly Cooper.
I don't know if he's a thief. I don't know Nathan Drake's a thief, but
His game is called A Thief's End.
I mean, I don't know.
It's the
I
second
don't
game is
consider
called
him.
Honor Among Thieves. Come on, man.
I don't know.
Is there in the title, dog?
No, not too many people are looking for it. I don't know.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's lost. No,
All right, whatever. All right, give me your number 3.
All right, so my number 3 is so I'm gonna add a number. Yakuza 6. That's what I'm gonna give it. Yakuza 6 was by far like the best story to me. Like literally, I don't get emotional about games. I don't. But and I can't spoil it, but with Kiryu on 6, I didn't know where this was going. And I would say go back and play it. If you haven't played the series, like definitely go back and check it out. I still have Yakuza, the very first one, on PS2.
Okay.
And so like through the series, like this one, and I still haven't finished Like a Dragon because it's just I have to play that off stream and to really enjoy it and play it the way I want to and actually enjoy the story, because I heard it gets better from where I'm at. I'm in like chapter 7. I heard it gets like extremely better. But number 6, it tugged at strings that I didn't know that was there for me for video games. Like I was like, I'm not gonna drop a tear here. There is no reason that I am going to get this emotional. Like, and I say that without trying to drop spoilers, but just trust me, that game, that series, even though like there's people that have gripes about it, the storyline on that is just, to me, is phenomenal, and they're still, going with 6 and Like a Dragon. Like I still haven't finished it, so I can't necessarily say that its story is better than 6, but so far 6 is the best in me.
But I've only played Yakuza 0, which I really, really liked a lot, actually. So, but the thing is, that's so many games to catch up on to get to 6.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, oh.
Oh yeah.
Like,
before I started on that, like with 3, I went back before I went and bought the other ones. I started on 3.
Yeah.
And they had I think that was back on PS3 as well. I still got all of them. But they go back, or I can't remember which one it's on. I think it was PS3. I don't know. But they gave you the backstory. They were like comics, and they gave the backstory before I went back and played them. And so after I learned it, I was like, you know what? No, I need to go back and actually get the games, and I need to play. And I still haven't played. I haven't played 5.
Okay.
I haven't played 5 because when I played it, it was in between the 4 and 5, and then when I played 6, I couldn't get 5 because it was only out in like Japan before they brought it, before you're able to play. And
really?
I heard, yeah, it was a gap where you couldn't play it. So there were certain amounts of them that they would release in the area. That was one that it didn't release out. And my friend had actually played it. And then he told me, he was like, because they put it online for you to be able to play at one point. And then he grabbed it and was like, you know what? He played it and was like, man, the story was not that good. And he was like, and there was something about playing with a certain character. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, I'll pass, but I'm going to go back and pick it up and play it just so I can say I'm completed the series.
Interesting. My name is Earl. Seems to disagree with you in the chat. He says the plot twist in Yakuza 6 was ass. And then he also says 3 is a rough one to start at. That's interesting, because My Name is Earl is the person that put me onto Yakuza. So, we have two conflicting points here. Interesting. All right. Anything else on Yakuza?
Sorry, I got a phone call. I have to go and help out real quick.
No worries.
Yeah. So no. Earl. Yeah, I don't agree with you on that. Not at all. Not at all. In my opinion. But I mean, that's just me though. Give me a second though, because I have to take this call.
Right.
Not a call, but I have to go grab my daughter. Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Well, while Tokyo-san is out doing kid stuff. I guess I'll wait for him to do my number 3, and then we'll keep going. But anyways,
The camera's all on
uh,
you.
it's all on me. What are we doing? I mean, yeah, I mean, if you know me, you know what my list is gonna consist of. You know, it's not gonna be the regular PlayStation exclusive list, and you can already see that I got Dark Cloud on there. I got Sly Cooper on there. I mean, I'm pretty sure people who know me, like my name is Earl, will probably know what my top 3 are already. So, it shouldn't be a surprise.
I know.
All eyes on me. Yeah, where was the Tupac hologram during the Super Bowl show?
Oh yeah, I think if Tupac was alive this whole time, that would have been the moment to reveal it. But I guess it's official.
My name is Earl in the chat says, unfortunately, my opinion is objectively true. Zombie Bait said, some would say this is a 1v1. That's funny. All right.
All right.
Gouda? All good to go?
Yeah, a little bit. My daughter's in here now. I might have to. I don't know. she's doing the most fun. It's okay.
Does your daughter have favorite games?
No, she's one.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
You got started early, man. You got to put that controller in her hand and make her play Horizon.
not Earl saying his opinion is objectively true. Wow. It's true for your playthrough, for your hands. No, in my opinion, the way I felt about it was great. Nah, but I mean, if you liked another one, that's your opinion. You can have that, and I still like mine.
All right, let's move on. My number 3 is Ratchet and Clank.
Hey.
I love Ratchet. I've been playing Ratchet and Clank since the first one, and for me, I gotta say that the standout game in this one is A Crack in Time. That for me, because that was the second game or it was the third game on the PS3, a part of the Future trilogy, and that game to me to this day is still like phenomenal in the story, in the weapons, but just all of the whole series is just fun to just go around and just buying all these weapons and just the crazy things that they can do. Some weapons turn enemies into pixel blocks. Some of them turn into chickens. Some of them force them to dance so then you can attack them. Like this whole thing is just fun to play. I love it. I love all the little jokes that there are in there. Some of the jokes are a little bit more mature than kids would go over kids' heads. And from the first game to Rift Apart, which I thought was phenomenal. It was one of my favorite PS5 games of last year. The only criticism I have of it is I feel like lately they're stuck on this plot point about the Lombaxes and Ratchet, and it seems like they're finally ready to move forward with it, because if they do another game where it's like I'm looking for my race of people, I'm going to like go into Insomniac and like fight someone. But other than that, it's even with that, like the game is so fun to play. I'd spend hours on it, at collecting all the gold bolts and upgrading all the weapons and doing all the missions in the Coliseum. I love Ratchet and Clank. It's up there for me. But you, any thoughts on the old Ratchet and R&B?
Sorry, Rift Apart was amazing. I didn't play too many of them. I played the one on PS4, and then I played the Rift Apart.
Yeah,
but I love the Rift Apart. I really enjoyed it. For what it was worth. Sorry, my daughter is like taking over.
It's all good.
It's just like sitting here trying to push buttons. So forgive me. But no, that was great. So I'm gonna, before she starts pushing more buttons. So my next one. So my number 2 here, The Last of Us. I'm gonna group them all in one. I'm gonna say, because I mean and I can't spoil much, but I still enjoyed number 2. Number 1 was great for what it was. It was, and like I said, it was outstanding, and people loved it for what it was, and how it just tugged at certain aspects of everything. And then number 2, unpopular, opinions, they would say that number 2 was bad. and I loved it. I loved that story, and I hope for a number 3 because I mean I can't say anything because people are still actually going and playing that game.
Yeah.
But I say that them collectively together because I feel like it's part 1 and part 2, to be honest with you. And it just that series as a whole is amazing. Like I haven't had games like actually I don't know, just do it for me like that. Like with everything that they had for it. Like I enjoyed the gameplay. I enjoyed the story. I just enjoyed it. So yeah, number 2 for me, Last of Us for sure.
I definitely, I do agree. I do enjoy both of those games, and I do hope for a part 3. But for me personally, I would hope that they do it kind of like an anthology, to where it's in the same world, the same universe. But for me, part 1 and 2 are a complete story, and I think that story is done. And I think if they would go somewhere else in the world or pick up on other like new things happening, I think for that's how I would hope they would do it. Because I don't know, man, people be going through a lot in those, and I'm like, do I really want to see him go through more? Ah, that's a lot. So let's move on to my number 2. My
All right.
number 2 is Gravity Rush. I love Gravity Rush. It is just so fun to play, just flying around, even if it's not like the most like in like, you're collecting orbs, but it's just fun to just play and fly around the world, and I love the setting, the aesthetic to it. My favorite PlayStation character, actually, my top two, my top two PlayStation characters are is Cat from Gravity Rush and the main star of my number 1. But I love Cat. She's adorable, inquisitive. She's like such a good hero, wanting to always do the best. She's just so adorable. I love Cat. She's one of my favorite characters. My top 2 PlayStation characters. And I love the game. The story is it can be a little convoluted, but I still love it. And I'm a big anime watcher, so if the more convoluted, the better. So you know how it goes. Gravity Rush,
Right.
especially Gravity Rush 2. That's my number 2 PlayStation franchise.
Nice. Nice. I never played number 2. And I never finished 1. But that
Ah,
was back when I was playing it on the handheld.
see, I played it on the remaster on the PS4,
Yeah, I was
and
playing it on the handheld.
it is probably I heard the controls were a lot better on the remaster.
I would hope so. It was still fun though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was unique. It was very unique. So number 1, I know mine seems like it's probably like a list of all the heavy hitters, like nothing like I guess unique, but I mean these if when I hear top 5, I have to go for the jugular. I mean these are
Yeah.
just they are going to be triple A's. It is what it is. But God of War. God of War I would say was extremely good to me. I don't know if how to put it in there. I played every single one, including
Okay.
Ascension. So I've played all of them, and I like I like the newest one.
Okay.
I like the newest one because of the aspect of it's it's open world. It's more open world. It's not necessarily open world, but it's more open world to it. I feel like there's a lot more to do in that one. Number 2 was still great to me, and so was number 3. And and so but this newest one to me it's like set up for it to be even better. And I liked what they did with the game, and they changed everything around, and they fitted into not only great action and great fighting and great gore and everything like that, but they also gave it the aspect of all right, now we're gonna introduce a world to you that you can actually get engulfed in. And I think for me, that's what set it apart from like everything else. And I was like, all right, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is different than what they've done. Even if it's like in a sense, it's still a sequel,
So I've only
and it's
played the
still
newest one, But I've heard the
Okay.
first one is very much like this is a level, run through it, kill enemies, and it's fun to play, but it's
Oh
very
yeah.
like level, 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 level,
Yeah, it
level,
was
level.
linear. It's
Yeah,
very linear.
this
Yeah,
one's more.
all of them were basically like linear
Yeah.
until this one.
Uh Man, that I haven't finished God of War, the newest one, because I'm in my playthrough right now. But I'm
Okay.
trying to juggle like 2 games at once. So I'm
That's
playing
tough.
that and I'm playing Arceus. So it's like
Ooh,
it's
that's tough.
yeah, so like what I'm doing is because I usually only play my Switch on handheld mode. So like when I'm downstairs or away from my console, I'll play like Arceus because it's a more laid back. Like I can just zoom out and like play this, and then want to focus in, play God of War. But
hmm
yeah, all right. So
All right.
that is your number one. Now, oh yeah, I am also playing SMT5. I put that game on the back burner though because I died in like a BS way, and you know that happens like when you die in like a BS way, and you're just like, I don't want to play this. I'm done. But my number one, and this should not be a surprise to anyone who knows me, is Parappa the Rapper. Yo, all right, like, all right, let me tell y'all like this. All right, real quick, let me tell y'all like this. Now, The Last of Us, gripping story of Ellie and Joel, a lot of emotional moments, a lot of tense moments. God of War, you have a story of vengeance of Kratos, but then also you have a story of uh, what was I gonna say? A story of fatherhood. The Uncharted series is almost like Indiana Jones, Pulp Fiction, Fast Action, Ratchet and Clank. You have all these cool weapons. Sly Cooper is about a thief, like a cartoon thief going into these places and stealing all these cool weapons. Horizon Zero Dawn, you have this post-apocalyptic world with all these robot dinosaurs. None of that compares to how this awkward dog is trying to impress this girl that is basically a sunflower. Parappa the Rapper, to me, is my favorite franchise. I know that's not a popular opinion, but it is just so damn fun. It's so damn catchy. I love the aesthetics. I mean, what is more iconic than Chop Master Onion and you hear him go kick, punch, it's all in the mind. I love that game. Trying to just because to this day, I still don't understand how the scoring in that game works, but I still play it all the time. To me, that's how brilliant it is. I don't understand it, but I can't stop playing it. I love that game. The music, the aesthetic, just the paper thin like characters. I love Parappa the Rapper. He's my favorite PlayStation character. Him and Cat are my favorites. I would rather play Parappa the Rapper. I would rather get a Parappa the Rapper 3 than a Last of Us 3. I would rather get that than, any other sequel to any other franchise.
Disagree.
I love Parappa the Rapper. Is my favorite. Relatable with a capital R. Uh, my name is Earl says Parappa level where he's at the line at the gas station bathroom. It's deep. It's true. Because shit like that always happens when you're like on a date with a girl, like he was in the game, and then you're like, man, I gotta use the bathroom, but I don't want to like seem like I'm uncomfortable in front of this girl, and you find a gas station, and you run to the bathroom, and it's like every asshole you know is in line. I love it, love it, love it.
All right. So those are your top 5 PlayStation franchises. Now, let's move on to our 1v1 showdown, which is a debate between you two on the question are PlayStation exclusives repetitive? Gio, what do you think?
I'm gonna let Tokyo-san start off on this one. Are PlayStation franchises exclusives repetitive?
Well, I mean, you just heard the number one that I just stated. So no, I don't think they're repetitive. Um, God of War is a prime example of that, in my opinion. But you haven't finished it. But the way that they take it from a certain story, which was Greek mythology, and now they're having it into, I can't even remember the technical term. I can't even think of the name. It slipped my mind. But you know what I'm talking about. With oh, I can't, damn, I almost said it a spoiler for you. um yeah, well, within that certain world, and it's totally different.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just reading chat. I'm sorry. In my opinion, like they still take some of the game aspects that, like, in the gameplay, that is feels familiar. Like a lot of those don't change. Like with The Last of Us, with Uncharted, with, like, I know it's not a friend or exclusive or whichever, but like with certain games that they have to keep going. Like with Metal Gear. Like Metal Gear, you had to, like, they keep that same, like, sense of everything else. Like with those types of sequels. Um and I mean, but they still do something a little different in my mind. Like with The Last of Us too. Oh my god. All right. So yeah, yeah, the same vein, but they bring something new and flavorful to it, which keeps the people keep coming back, in my opinion.
All right. Fair point. For me, I think they are repetitive because I would say maybe not a long time ago, but up to recently, when you hear the title PlayStation exclusive, right? And Zombie Bait said this in the chat, meaning the story or the gameplay is repetitive. I would say, the gameplay, in the sense that when you hear PlayStation exclusive, you already know that it's a third person action game. Whether it be Uncharted, whether it be God of War, whether it be Horizon, whether it be Days Gone. I mean, Days Gone in itself was like, yeah, we've come up with this new game. It's a third person action game in a post apocalyptic world involving zombies. What does that sound like? Huh, it sounds like The Last of Us. Now, if you replace zombies with robot dinosaurs, then you get Horizon, right? And all of it is that they're all third person action games. There's no, like, genre difference between them, right? Even God of War, it's not a post apocalyptic world, but it's a desolate world, right? In Norse mythology. And even Uncharted is like, oh, you're stuck in this place where there's nothing but mercenaries. These games are all, in my opinion, it's getting stale with the third person action games. Where are the first person shooters? What happened to Killzone? Where are the platformers? They haven't really had one in a long while. I mean, I guess Ratchet and Clank, but that's one out of all the other third person action games. Where where are the brawlers? Where are the beat 'em ups? Where are the first person game? Where are the first person adventure games? It just seems to me that just Sony is just always making third person action games.
I think the third person action games and the more story based are what stand out. But I mean, like, let's say like exclusives like Detroit Become Human. Like, but I mean, we're talking about, are the sequels becoming repetitive? Like they've stepped outside of the realm, but you can say that Quantum Dream, like they make the same type of gameplay style, but Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human are two separate games. Beyond Two Souls is a separate game. They're the same. They're the same as gameplay, but they're definitely in a different vein. You see what I'm saying? They, like God of War, yeah, it was the same beat 'em up, but the story changes. The thing is about these exclusives is the storytelling aspect of it. And yeah, you're getting third person. Well, that's how you can be more relatable with the person. Why be first person when you're getting the Call of Duty action over and over again with the first person? You can't relate to that person. You're supposed to be in that person's shoes. They're conveying it in third person so you can actually relate to that person. So when the camera cuts away, and you're going to a cutscene, you can be related to that person that you're always seeing in that three-dimensional world that you're controlling. You're actually controlling that person rather than being first person. That's why I feel like, yeah, the gameplay is the same, but the story is what's making it different. And have you played The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you would understand why they're not repetitive, because they're repetitive in the aspect of, yeah, they're killing certain zombies, but they have to add different ways of storytelling. It wasn't repetitive in that way that they told the story with Abby, correct? They changed it a little
Okay.
ways, and it was nothing that was the same. Yeah, you still had Ellie, and you still had Elle, but it was still different. It was
Well,
still different.
almost fell. Now it's funny you bring up Quantic Dream, right? But if you think about it, right, they're no longer a PlayStation studio, or I mean, they never were, but they no longer have that exclusive partnership. Now, I think for me, the problem is when you say repetitiveness, it's not in the because of course the story is going to change. Like the stories, regardless of how you feel about the gameplay, is always going to be they're pretty good for most people. I would say the vast majority of people would say the story is good. You bring up Last of Us, Last of Us Two, but the simple fact is that if you look at the output recently, especially ever since Jim Ryan took over, what did they shut down? They shut down Sony Japan. They shut down Japan Studios, who were making all the kind of like the weird niche games, and they're putting out Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, all quality games. I'm not saying they're not great games, but they all fall under the same umbrella because I think you can say that these exclusive games feel repetitive in the sense that they're not willing to take risks on making anything that is new or different or even weird because they've been shutting down all the studios that make the weird stuff. Now, am I saying that these games are repetitive, but that means they're not quality? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you're getting kind of, what you're getting into. None of these games, yeah, they may tweak some stuff, but nothing really is mind-bendingly different to where you're like, oh, this doesn't feel like more of the same, even though it is high quality. But it's kind of it's like how do I say this? It's like going to go to a steakhouse, right? And you order a steak, and you know that it's going to be good. You know it's going to be fire, right? But it's of course that it's a steak. Unless you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you know that it's going to be fire. But I want to go try some of that crazy sushi they have across the street where they have fish and mango on it, and that sounds disgusting and sounds weird, but it's probably amazing because my taste palette wants that weirdness.
Okay, so you're explaining games as in different. So you're saying that Horizon, when it first came out, wasn't different, is what you're saying. So you're saying
Yeah.
even though they were in a post-apocalyptic world, it's no different than The Last of Us or anything else. You're saying that they're in the same vein, even though that you have large dinosaur open world with different civilizations basically starting over and they're fighting each other. Okay. And so I mean, but this is so you're talking about people that are writing games. So what would you want to see in a game that is different? Because I mean, what are you going in with Ghost of Tsushima? I mean, what was that like?
Well, what's the difference between what gameplay wise? What is the difference between Ghost of Tsushima and Horizon Zero Dawn, other than the setting? You're both looking for camps to raid, take out some enemies. You're just looking at a big old map with a checkpoint, and you're fighting people. What's the difference?
What's the difference? The gameplay aspect of it is different. I have a sword versus a bow. You're talking about in a sandbox area of what all can we do? What all would you want to be doing in a sandbox area? Because you have to understand they're giving us also foxes to hunt. We're having to get clues. We're doing haikus in that point. They're giving you theater mode. They're making it black and white. You have the language barrier. I mean, they're doing different things to change up the game to give you a different feel. Now, if people go in there and they actually try to do it, then there's a difference. But if you're 100%ing a game, they're giving you different ways to experience a game. It's how you play it is how you experience it. It may
Well,
seem that they're the same, but you're playing it in a different manner. Like I can be stealthy, or I can go through not dying. Or you're looking at Demon Souls. Like those in a sense like seem kind of repetitive in that aspect. Yeah, there's a big hard boss to fight, right? I'm gonna die a lot of times. Sekiro is the same thing. So you're talking about games in general. A lot of games are piggybacking off of certain ideas, but then we criticize games like No Man's Sky that actually dared to be different and people weren't receptive of it.
well, I think the thing is that if you let's look at Nintendo, right? A Mario game does not feel like a Zelda game, which does not feel like a Kirby game, which does not feel like a Xenoblade game, does not feel like a Fire Emblem game. Those are five major franchises. Does not feel like an Animal Crossing game. Those are six major franchises that all feel completely different. Meanwhile, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, yes, they are different, but they are built with the same skeleton.
Have you seen the new Kirby trailer?
Yeah.
Okay, so that looks like Mario.
Okay, but these are different because
Oh,
Kirby has
there's a difference
Waddle
because it's
Dee.
Kirby and Mario, but
Yeah.
they still look the same. They
Is
still
this
look
supposed
like
to be
they're
like
in
an
the same
Italian
vein.
menu? This is
Yeah,
like
I'm
an
just
Italian
saying. I'm just
menu?
saying that they're still in the same vein. Have you seen Mario 64 and Zelda 64?
Oh, they're
Sorry,
different.
Ocarina
Well,
of
I'm gonna
Time.
argue on that one.
Ocarina of Time. I mean, they're still open world.
Can
They're
you
still
jump?
diving
Can you
into
jump in
different
Zelda?
dungeons.
You can't
They're
jump in
they're diving
Zelda.
into different areas. I mean,
Ah,
like let's be honest here. What are they doing that's necessarily different?
well,
They're not.
Mario is a platformer, and because there's fundamental difference in that you can jump and die and fall off ledges in Mario, and in Zelda, it's all about sword combat.
Yeah, if you're talking the platformer aspect of it, I mean Mario Maker was the most unique thing that they could have probably brought out in the aspect of actually changing how we look and view Mario, because now you're looking at challenging other people in the actual world on what they're wanting to do. And so I think I like that aspect of it. Now, if we're going to talk Mario,
Uh,
but with Zelda, um, and let's say Zelda and Xenoblade go hand in hand. I mean, what's the difference there?
one's an RPG and one isn't.
Some would say that what Breath of the Wild is an RPG.
Um, I disagree on that because RPGs like literally like there is no stat building, there is no well fuck. I think you got me on that one because you can pick up different weapons that have different stats. Hmm. Now I still won't call it an RPG because there's no leveling up system. There is no there's no party members. There is no. I would say Zelda is more. I would say Zelda has more in common with a Horizon than it does with a Xenoblade.
But they all take from the same ideas, and that's the point that I'm making. There isn't so many that are unique because we've seen so much. Mario came out in a time where games were needed, and we've grown so accustomed to loving Mario and loving the fact that we get the same exact game over and over again, just a different spin on it, but we love it. They people try to reenact it, and you say PlayStation needs what, a platformer? I don't know if that'll solve it.
I think
I don't
PlayStation
know.
needs something that's just different and weird,
But they've given different and weird all the time.
but not
People
anymore.
just people just don't like they don't gravitate towards it because these are not AAA titles. These are um like let's say like Nino Kuni.
Yeah. Okay.
Nino Kuni was different.
Mm-hmm.
Nino Kuni, but then you could say Nino Kuni was just like Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, the first one for sure.
Yeah, the first one for sure. I didn't finish the second one because it was just I don't know. But Nino Kuni was different in that aspect. It gave us Pokemon, but on PlayStation. I don't know. I don't know what different is that we're looking for until we see it. I think when Horizon came out, it was different because you don't see creatures like this that you can actually fight that are mechanical. That was different. That is completely different. That's a world that you dove into that you didn't even know that you understood. Like until you played it. Like you're like, all right, I have a freaking gator that's hopping out of the water that's not a gator. Now, what would change the mind frame of it, and I was saying this earlier in my stream, like if they took it into like a rainforest or a jungle, actually incorporated real animals with machine animals, would people be up for that?
Okay.
All right. So yeah,
I-
that was a very interesting debate. You even got a good showdown. Even had a Geo yelling about Kirby.
Yeah, and the chat seemed to be pretty active.
Yeah, and I don't know why it wasn't showing, but until now. But maybe that's on Restream's part. But anyways, so with that said, that
You could fall off a cliffs and die in Zelda. Oh my gosh.
that about
Said Breath of the Wild is an action RPG.
what do you guys
All right, I'll give that one.
So, what do you guys think in the chat about that showdown? Who do you guys agree with? Who do you guys don't agree with? I already imagine some of your answers, but so that brings us to the end of our show. And if you like what we do here, please give us a follow on our socials, on IG, Twitter, and you can support us on Patreon, where we have 3 tiers. And if you want to listen to the show again, we are available on 4 platforms, which are Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast. And yeah, and big shout out and a huge thanks to Tokyo Sun, our guest host, for coming in today and giving us his insights on Pokemon games. And so, with that said,
No
I'm
worries.
your host.
Oh,
or-
Maggie.
What's up?
Make sure to tell everyone we're not gonna have a show next week.
Oh, yeah, big announcement. Yeah, we are not having a show, a 1v1 show next weekend or next Saturday because me and Gio will be in Vegas for the Level Up Expo, which is a video game conference. But I am going there for that too, and in Vegas stuff. And I'll be streaming that on Hyphy Soul. And speaking of where you can find me on aside from the 1v1 show, is on the Hyphy Soul Twitch account. And same, where can we watch you, Tokyo?
Oh, I couldn't even hear you. The bike was breaking up.
Oh, well, you guys can catch Tokyo on his stream playing Forbidden West on
Oh, we're about to
Twitch.tv.
play. We're about to play in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Quickly, he about to hop back in.
I'm
Yeah.
about to hop back in this world. I'm about to get lost. Yes.
Yeah,
I
once
needs
we
that.
close down or end the show, or the original show, he will be moving on to Forbidden West, and me and Gio will be sticking around for the post show. So yeah, so I'm the guy in the back, Hype Show Mikey, along with
Your boy Geo Huey Flow.
and our guest host, Tokyo Sun. And we will see you guys not in 2 weeks. See you then.
Peace.
Alrighty. Hey, appreciate you guys letting me be on here, man. It was one.
Yee.
Definitely appreciate you guys. Also, you guys in the chat, appreciate you guys for making it what it is, man. For being part of it. So I don't know if I'm still on.
Oh no, your voice is still going on.
Oh, it is. All right. Well, thank you for all that. I appreciate.
Yeah.
Back on with you guys, man, for sure.
What's up? And we're back. Well, it's just me because I don't know where Gio is. And but yeah, here I am in the Imperial hangar at the Dutch Star. Those guys over there, and yeah, I forgot what I was going to talk about. But Horizon has ruined my sleeping schedule because yeah, I mentioned earlier that I had 2 10+ hour gaming sessions in the past few days playing Horizon Zero Dawn because we were playing it on New Game Plus on ultra hard difficulty, so it was taking a while. And then the DLC, I started playing that yesterday and finished it yesterday. And yeah. Oh wait, I think Gio's coming back. No, he's not. But yeah, and I don't think there's any indication of how many hours it's going to take to beat Forbidden West, but I plan on 100%ing that on my first playthrough. But I'm playing it on normal difficulty, which I actually should probably play on hard because I've been playing it on ultra hard. So, yeah. Oh, hey, here's Gio. Hold on.
Nope.
Bring
What's
him
up?
back in.
Ow. Ugh. Ugh. What's up? What's up? Woo! Man, my dog is she tripping right now.
What are you eating there?
Some porridge. My dad was like, "Hey, I made porridge." I was like, "All right, I'll get it after because I'm doing something." And then my brother just like during the show, I don't know if you noticed, but he walked in, just handed me something, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then and it was I guess he bought me a bagel sandwich. So we eating good, and we smoke good, and we smell good. And I'm just watching my dog. Like my dog does this weird thing where she like, when she first jumps on my bed, she'll like put her head onto the mattress and just start like going like this, like shaking around. I don't know. My dog's she's a little weirdo.
My name is Earl in the chat just said this episode of the 1v1 really made me realize how much I don't like PlayStation IPs as a whole.
Interesting. What you don't care for you don't I may oh wait hold on actually would you say that it's like newer PlayStation IPs or like the older ones? Because I definitely noticed that between me and Tokyo Sun our countdowns his was basically like kind of newer titles and I had more of like the old school titles. I mean if you know me you know that Parappa was gonna be like one or two. You know it was gonna be up there.
Yeah, and I wasn't quite sure what you meant by like our PlayStation exclusives repetitive until you started making your point. I was like, because I saw that in the doc, I was like, what's this gonna be about? And then I was like, okay. And then I thought it was gonna be like a pretty much like a fanboy versus fanboy debate, but I don't think it was like that. And you guys brought up pretty good points for both sides. I was like, interesting. Just newer IPs.
Yeah. We need Gravity Rush 3. Me and My Name is Earl are going to make it happen.
Yeah. Oh, and
you know what? Oh, you know what I'm glad he didn't bring up actually?
What?
When I was like, "Oh, PlayStation is a platformer." Tokyo Sun could have just said like, "What about Astrobot?" And I would have been like, "Oh, fuck, he's right." Cuz Astrobot's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Astrobot is the best packing game. I think that and Wii Sports are like the best.
The PS5 Astrobot.
Specifically, yeah, PS5 Astrobot.
And I'm gonna try a drink that I got from Japan. Wait, they are a little too similar on terms of bits of gameplay between cutscenes. I was gonna agree with that, but yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get myself some Japanese snacks and I'll try them on stream or on camera. And then there's also a drink called Pocari Sweat. Have you ever heard of that? Pocari Sweat. Have you had that?
Yeah, it's like kind of like I think it's just like kind of like a type of like water. Like it's like It's water, but it's not water. Like, not like a. It's like a. Like, think vitamin water where the flavoring is super like light.
Interesting, because apparently that's my niece's favorite drink, Japan right now, and then so I'm gonna drink a little bit of it, and then also get some snacks. So I'm gonna give you the camera for like a minute or two,
All right,
and
I'll keep that entertained. But anyways, while Mikey's doing that, right? I've heard only that it's salty. Oh, interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm super excited for Vegas next week. Gotta get all ready and stuff. Gotta clean up my car. Mikey told me to clean up my car, so I guess I have to now. I guess if I have to, right? I went over. I went over to Stockton, which is about. Actually, it basically took me 2 hours from home to get to Stockton. Normally, it's like an hour, but I picked up a coworker from my job site, and then that was like 30 minutes. And then from there, we went to Stockton because my students had a basketball tournament, and they ended up winning. So good for them. I told them that I was gonna take away their credit. I was gonna fail them if they don't win for making me drive out there, and they did. So good on them. Good for those boys. Other than that, man, it's just been I've just been chilling, just kind of excited for Vegas. I'm not excited for the drive, even though Mikey's driving the whole way. I'm not excited for Vegas. Like, that drive is gonna suck. I hate long drives. I get like antsy. I'm still thinking about whether I should bring my Switch or not to play on the way there. I know I'm not gonna play it while I'm in Vegas, but at the same time, like, I do want it for the trip there. I mean, I guess I could just leave it in the hotel room and it'll be fine. Just gotta make sure my hotel room is locked. Hmm. That reminds me, I gotta call the hotel, see if we can get early check-in, because our check-in is at 4 o'clock. That's kind of late. I mean, most hotel check-ins are like 2 or even 3, but 4 o'clock, that's super late. I'm gonna try to see if I can get that. If I can get that changed, if they can be like, even just like, oh yeah, we'll let you check in at like, whatchamacallit, we'll let you check in at 3. But other than that, today I'm probably gonna just be playing Pokemon, working on some stuff for the show, and hopefully getting a better set of whoa. You know what I really need? I need a better chair. Ugh. That's what I really need. A better chair, because feel like I'm always almost falling off this one. But yeah. What did the chat say? I heard it salty. Oh, the Pocari Sweat. I don't know if I would describe it as salty. Maybe it wasn't Pocari Sweat that I had. Maybe it was another drink. I don't know. I like to go to Daiso and just like see whatever is new, and just drink that. So I don't know.
Yeah, so
You got your stuff?
yeah, I got my Pocari Sweat. I only got one bottle because there's something about like sending fluids overseas and stuff, and
Yeah.
then so I only got the one, and then so let's try it for the first time. Because have you seen those videos where people just try like a bunch of foods from like places in Japan, like the 7-Eleven videos? Apparently,
Yeah.
people can have like a whole week's worth of food just from 7-Eleven because all the food in 7-Eleven is like made fresh and stuff. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, 7-Eleven in Japan is legit.
So, cheers.
Wow. BGG plays as Gio is a hoe and has 0 good opinions. Nintendo sucks and the Peggy suck. Fight me. I will beat the shit out of you in Vegas. I will punch you like a football.
It isn't.
At the rate
It's
at
like
a light
a watered down Gatorade.
Okay. Yeah. How about that?
I like it. And also, I got these chips from Japan. They are steak chips. Chips that taste like straight up like steak, and it is amazingly good. Like I don't know how to capture the taste of burnt steak, like or not like just delicious steak, and then they captured it in a chip flavor.
That seems like something that would be for our friend Matt J.
Oh yeah, yeah, he would definitely like that. But
Steak chips. Yeah.
and then also we got these different Kit Kats that they have. Well, there's not really that too different. There's cookies and cream Kit Kat, which is one of my faves. This is sea salt Kit Kat.
Ooh, sounds good.
It is good. And then a birthday cake Kit Kat. Birthday cake ice cream Kit Kat, to be specific. And then Mont Blanc Kit Kat, which is I forgot how it tastes. But
What the hell is Mont Blanc?
but there's also fruit Kit Kats, but I don't like how they taste because they straight up like a mango lotion. If imagine how a mango lotion tastes like, it would be the mango Kit Kat.
That sounds amazing.
Okay, I'll bring you one of these fruit Kit Kats. I'm actually yeah, cause yeah, I don't like them. No one in this house likes them, and so I might maybe just give them to you because they taste straight up like lotion. Like if lotion was in solid form, in the form of Kit Kat, it would be that fruit mango Kit Kat. And there's also lemon Kit Kat, which also tastes like lemon lotion. When is Mikey going to be converted and start liking anime waifus? I don't, I don't know what would take me. Gio has been trying for over a decade and has failed.
I just bring those Kit Kats on the trip.
Yeah, well, ooh, he already has. He has been. He decides it.
um,
Yeah, we could do a reaction try streams during the drive.
oh, we could do that.
Oh shit, dude, we can make a stream on the 1v1 show and do like just. You could think of some content for the drive. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and then we could just talk about like topics and stuff. Like we could basically do it without just like, but like more free ball. I kind of like this, but like I'll just have like topics on my phone and be like, oh, this happened and that happened.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot. We could, yeah, because it's going to be 8 to 10 hour drive, depending on our rest stopping.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy how we've been talking about it for pretty much for as long as this show's been going on, which is over a year now, and it's finally happening next Friday. And
BGG plays 5 hours from me. Well, you know what? You're a hoe. So
I didn't seem that bad. Like driving 6 hours is not that bad to me of a drive, or like just a 6 hour flight. Well, all you do is sit down and vibe out to music.
Because I don't know, I just don't like
you get to be a passenger too, because I'm doing driving his car the entire time.
I just don't like being stuck somewhere.
You're not. You're constantly moving at a rate of 60 miles per hour, at least, according legally.
Shut up, Poodle. Come here. Poodle, venga acá.
And yeah. And then I tested out our little driving IRL road trip setup last week. No, this week. A few days ago.
Week, yeah.
On my Hyphy Soul stream. And then I was thinking, I don't know if I should add like an external mic to add to the phone. So like you could hear us better instead of like the car noises. Because where the camera is going to be is right above the car speaker.
Uh-huh.
And then, so that means like we would have to like not play music, or I'll be blasting into the phone mic like Gio always does. This man rather be stuck 1,000 miles up in the air than chilling with his bud. I know, right? Make sure to get an oil change before you go.
I did. I got one in January, so and top fluids too. Did that too. I'm gonna get my brakes checked this week, and then
Okay. That would
I'll
be good.
change my brake pads if I have to.
Oh damn.
So
But
we're gonna get that.
yeah, and then I was looking into the Level Up Expo after party. It's at the Luxor, which is basically across the street from where we're going to be watching Silk Sonic
Nice.
at MGM Park, or no, at the park, or whatever, one of those arenas, because like it'll just be connected by like a little overpass fence where there's either like, yeah, there's a lot of people there.
So yeah, I think our plan is the first night go to the con when we get there, go to the con, meet up with Nesto and them, and then after we go to our show, and then meet up maybe at the after party. I don't know, BGG play if you're still in here.
No, he is. What is it? Yeah, and he asked, "What the f are you guys doing when you get there?" I'll be there Thursday. Moo is in the same hotel. Oh, dang, going to be there the day before. And
Oh damn, they're going Thursday. Okay.
Moo is in the same hotel as me and Jared. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, how come we didn't stay in the same hotel, but then Marriott member, this guy,
Yeah, I got a discount through my dad's job.
and
So
yeah, so like we're not actually on the strip. We're about like a 25 to 30 minute walk from the strip, but 4 minute drive. Yeah, because we're leaving Sunday. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, dang.
okay, yeah, we're leaving Monday.
Oh, so it's going to be just us on Monday.
Monday is just gonna be us then.
Huh. Okay.
All right. Well, what time are y'all leaving on Sunday?
Oh, yeah, that is. Because Sunday we have nothing planned out.
We have
And
nothing
same with
planned.
Saturday. Well, all we have planned out are like well, for us, the concert, New York. I'm assuming you want to do New York ride.
Yeah.
They're going to leave Sunday afternoon, probably. Okay, and then the food places, the one where they just are mean to you. And then the Heart Attack Grill, and then Omega Mart, and then outside of those events, we're pretty much free. Pretty much playing it by ear.
Nesta's gonna go to Omega to Heart Attack Grill and ask for a burger the same size as him.
I'm only getting a single patty because I've seen the. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can show that, or like on the stream. Here, look at Joe for now.
This is Mrs. Pinky. This is the best dog ever. She is a toy poodle, and she is #1 fighter because she survived a 10-foot drop at 14 years old. That means my poodle is tough. She can whoop on any pit bull because she is my baby.
You should rename the dog to Mankind
Mankind,
because he fell 20 foot from top of the cage of in a Hell in a Cell match against the Undertaker. It's crazy.
Watched wrestling. Mikey will be called out by the waitress if he gets a single patty.
Wait, really? Is that a thing?
I don't know. We could hit up round 1 with Sam. Oh yeah, I'm down to go to round 1. We have one here in Concord, but I'm sure the one in Vegas is a lot nicer. And then I could win. Oh, they have Nendroids at round 1. Dog, do you know what this means? She doesn't know what it means, but it means I could get some Nendos. Nendo.
Get rid of this text.
Baby, I love you.
Hold on. Go back to Geo.
Anyways.
I'm gonna look up Heart Attack Grill. Is that what it's called? Literally? Like in Vegas?
What?
It's called Heart Attack Grill?
Heart Attack Grill.
Okay, found a website. Alright, here we go. Hold on. I just gotta.
Look how adorable she is. This is the cutest dog of all time. It's the best dog ever. Piggy, orejitas. Orejas. Hacele, orejas. Okay. Probably doesn't want me to hold her anymore. Oh, ve a la cama. Va a dormirse. Go. A dormir.
Alright, here we go. Here's the website. Heart Attack Grill. Video has been removed. Content no longer available. Okay, so they don't. They're not up on their. Wait, why does their website look so janky? What the heck?
I don't know. Is it even
Is that
still?
even? Is that a fake website? The heck?
Is it even still running? Are we gonna show up there and it's gonna be closed like at the end of Vacation with Chevy Chase?
Are you gonna get Mikey to get spanked too? Wait, is that Heart Attack Grill? The spanking?
With the nurse? Yeah, because all the waitresses are dressed like nurses, so I guess they do shit like that.
Oh shit! I don't know if I want to do that. We should totally get you to do that though. That dog looks like it's gonna try to steal Frodo's ring.
Shut the fuck up. My
That was-
dog looks like an adorable, cutest thing ever. Biggie! Oh, good girl!
You'll
Oh, my
be
baby!
seated in a table in what looks like a 50s diner. At first glance, as you look around, you'll notice the odd sense of humor in the place. Oh, that's a cool picture. And you get to pee on politicians. Oh, here's the menu. Single bypass burger, $9.70. Add 5 bacon slices, 5 for $1. Double bypass burger, and it goes all the way from triple, quadruple, quintuple, sextuple, septuple to octuple bypass burger, which is 8 patties for $24.02. 10,000 calorie burger, let's go, dude. That is ridiculous. Like, that's so crazy. Half pound ooh. Wait, what is coronary dog? Is that a fried wiener with bacon in a hot dog? Ew. That doesn't even
I
sound
might actually
appealing.
die if I eat that.
Everything is cooked in lard. Prepare to die. Ugh. Onion ring, $7. Chili cheese flatliner fries. I might have to go back to the hotel after this.
They what was I gonna say? They
All beers,
there's a
$6.
there's a place in Sacramento where they make onion rings.
Oh my
They fry
God.
them, then they dip them in vanilla soft serve, and then fry them again.
Look at this. This is only 5 patties. You can add 3 more to this, I think. Right?
What the fuck?
1,
That's
2,
huge.
3, 4, 5. Like, this is straight up the Mondo burger from Good Burger, but in real life.
Oh my god! I think I might die.
My favorite line from Good Burger is "Watch your butt,"
Watch your
and,
butt.
and then Kel, what? Watch my butt. And he keeps turning around like he's a dog. I thought that was hilarious to me whenever that movie came out in theaters. I saw that movie in theaters, and my dad was so
Oh, yeah.
mad. My dad was so mad that we made him take us there because me and my brother were like laughing at that movie. My dad's like shifting around, not all comfortable, and then like finally got himself to sleep.
That's funny.
Wine is
I
charged
think
in an
I'm-
IV drip bag.
I think my mom also hated that movie when I made her go watch it.
They serve Jello sauce from a giant syringe. Oh, I'll take a Jello shot. Guinness Book of World Record holder. The Heart Attack Grill was even awarded Guinness Book of World Records the most calorific burger in 2013 for the quadruple bypass burger, weighing in at a whopping pretty much 10,000 calories. So that's 4 patties. That's ridiculous. So like, dang, at 4.5 pounds, 3 tablespoons of lard. Ew. 20 slices of bacon, 8 slices of American cheese, 20 slices of a caramelized onion baked in lard, 8 tomato slices, 1 tablespoon of mayo, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of mustard. Ew. How do you eat this? How do you bite this? I'll send
No
y'all
idea.
the Matt Stoney vid. Like, how do you hold this? Like,
I don't know, man.
that's from the Heart Attack Grill. The motto is taste worth dying for, and you can certainly see why several patrons have had heart attacks while eating at the restaurant. In February 2012, a man dies of heart attack while eating triple bypass. Only 3 patties. April 2012, woman collapses while eating a double bypass. Only 2 patties. Smoking cigarette and drinking margarita. Okay, well, those certainly did not help. In February 2013, a daily customer, an unofficial That's crazy. He went there daily. A daily customer and unofficial spokesman dies of a heart attack. And what is the heart attack grill challenge? If you finish the entire quadruple bypass burger, you get a wheelchair ride out to your car by your nurse waitress. But if you fail, you'll be publicly spanked with their infamous paddle.
Bro, this can't be real, man. I think I just googled this up. The heart attack grill has added a new concept of marketing by displaying cremated remains of past customers who have died at the restaurant while eating.
What? Is that real?
Is that real? It's on the Science Times.
Ew. Is a heart attack grill kid friendly? No, not really. Besides being a poor model of healthy eating, there are scantily clad nurses for waitresses and speaking paddle. Okay, probably can't stream there. I wouldn't advise bringing kids to a heart attack grill in Vegas. How many calories are in a heart attack burger? The octuple bypass burger weighs in at pretty much 20,000 calories. It has 8 patties, which is 4 pounds of meat. 4 pounds of meat, 40 pieces of bacon, chili, and cheese. 20,000. Isn't that pretty much how much what's his face? Michael Phelps eats in a day when he's like Olympic swimming? I remember it was a lot.
All right, hold on. The restaurant spokesman, 575-pound Blair River, died on March 1st, 2011 at age 29 from complications of pneumonia. February 11th, 2012, a customer suffered what was reported while eating a triple bypass burger at the restaurant. Owner John Basso called 911 and the customer was taken to the hospital. Patrons thought it was a stunt and started taking photos. Basso later said, I actually felt horrible for the gentleman because the tourists were taking photos of him as if it was some type of stunt. Even with our own morbid sense of humor, we would never pull a stunt like that. 2011 or April 21st, 2020, a woman fell unconscious while eating a double burger, drinking alcohol and smoking. In February 2013, unofficial John spokesman, daily patron, 52-year-old John Alleman died of an apparent heart attack while waiting at a bus stop in front of the restaurant. Jesus Christ.
All right, let's watch this video that BTG Play sent us about the heart attack grill. But yeah, dude, I think I remember reading a story about that where people were taking pictures. Yeah, like, dang. All right, here's the video. This was in October 2013. Wait. Hold up. The audio's not being heard. Hold on.
It's aptly named the Heart Attack Grill. We sent ABC's Ryan Owens to check out their new digs in none other than Sin City.
In a country where calories are posted like warnings on restaurant menus,
is the word.
Unhealthy school lunches are under fire, and where our First Lady has a vegetable garden, there is an alternative reality. And it looks like this. This monument to greasy gluttony,
almost there,
almost done with this single bypass,
is called the Heart Attack Grill.
All the patrons wear
It's a defiant throwback to a pre-health obsessed America.
How many patties was that? Hold up.
It's a bypass is called the Heart Attack Grill.
1, 2, 3.
It's
There's 4. So that's the heart attack challenge right there.
Defiant throwback to a pre-health obsessed America. A kind of hospital-themed Hooters, located where else? Sin City. But as you're about to find out, eater beware. This restaurant can literally be hazardous to your heart. Remarkably, the owner says it's all done in the name of promoting good health.
One among us has to tell the truth, and that's what we're doing here.
The Heart Attack Grill prides itself on pushing limits, along with belt sizes. Diners must wear hospital gowns. People 350 pounds plus eat free. Their flatliner fries, cooked in lard, are unlimited. Thirsty? Try the all butterfat shake. Or maybe a shot of vodka served in a prescription pill bottle. And new to this menu, a burger with 8 patties, almost 20,000 calories.
That's ridiculous. Look at that. That's like more than a foot.
Bruh. What the fuck?
Calories.
I'm trying to lose weight, and that's out here trying to kill me.
Yeah, and this is part of the reason why, because I was going to start like doing like workout fitness streams this month, but then like we've been talking about this heart attack gorilla. I was like, okay, well, I might as well just wait till after the trip, because if we're gonna, I was like, I don't want to negate
That's the equivalent of nearly 40
a
Big
week or
Macs.
two.
Oh, and if you don't finish your
workouts.
meal, you get
Oh, it is
spanked
this place.
by a nurse. She's not
Whoa,
exactly
I don't know
a
if I
real
can show that.
RN,
Here's Gio's face.
but her spankings are real hard. The restaurant and all of its repulsive excess seems
Yeah.
right at home among the tourist traps in downtown Las Vegas.
Whoop.
Its owner, perhaps the ultimate Vegas showman,
going to finish your bourbon next time?
is John Basso. As part of his act,
Yo,
he likes to be called Dr. John.
Now breathe
I'm
in for me.
assuming you're trying to get
Dr.
hit
John has
by the
become
nurse.
something of a superstar
No,
in the
I'm
fast
not
food
into-
world.
I'm not into that.
In his trademark over-the-top
for me,
way,
dog.
he depicts himself as Jesus Christ at the Last Supper,
Oh, that's a
dining
huge
with the industry's
painting.
other giants.
I thought that was going to be like a little poster.
He's certainly come a long way since I first met him almost 3 years ago at his first heart attack grill outside Phoenix, Arizona. Back then, the restaurant was under fire after its nearly 600-pound spokesman, Blair Rivers, died of obesity-related issues. He was just 29.
There's an
Is that the daily
argument to be
customer?
made that you used this guy during his life.
Is this
the guy
And
that
that
died?
now you are very morbidly using his death to continue to promote your restaurant.
I absolutely agree. And in a very sick way, his death has gotten the
Why does
message
this
out
dude
further.
look like fucking...
So this man's death has not given you pause.
Why does this dude
at
look
all.
like
Zero
like
pause.
Big Lots?
You
Lex
guys,
Luthor?
we are actually rolling now. Actually rolling.
Dr. John's Vegas location is double the size of his old place in Arizona, and his in-house fatality rate, it hasn't slowed a bit.
How many people have actually had heart attacks in the room that we're
That
sitting
actually
in?
kind of did look good, those
In the
fries.
room that we're sitting in, we've had 3 heart attacks.
And how many people have died?
1. Now, I would like to say
We're sitting
that
at 3
the
heart
other
attacks?
2,
What a
I did the
sentence.
grandest of favors for, because they now uniquely and in a very real way understand their own genetic shortcomings. Now, the one that I couldn't save was a very dear friend of mine. And I want to tell you something. They'll say it's grotesque. They'll
Yes,
say,
they will.
how can you keep the
little
man's
bit.
cremation here? And I'll tell you something. I am setting the bag on the table. And I challenge any other restaurant to set the bag on the table. I'm talking about a bag of truth, about what's not going to happen if you don't listen to me. This will happen. This was a good man with hopes and dreams
Oh, it's terrible.
who couldn't
They
control
put
his eating
the
habits.
dude in a bag?
Inside this bag are the remains of yet another spokesman, John Ailman.
Was that the daily customer? Oh,
He ate at the restaurant every day.
But people are actually dying. So that's kind of
Super
where the,
late.
the gig has to stop. What do you say?
People are dying. People will continue to die.
Nice, good job.
Can they just stop, pause, and reflect upon the food for thought that I'm selling? It's not hamburgers, it's not t-shirts, it's not french fries. I'm selling you food for thought and a good laugh.
Oh my
Let's all
God.
have a good time.
we're about to
But
fight
let's
everyone
really
in there.
digest this.
Probably.
Let's think a bit. Or we're going to end up exactly like my friend in the bag.
Until then, Dr. John is the first to admit heart attacks are part of his business model.
When there are lights and sirens outside and they're bringing some person out on a gurney, you're basically in the back room counting money at that point.
Absolutely. Was that heart attack good for business?
Vegas,
Did that
I
heart
guess.
attack pad my wallet
from
with
Arizona.
money? Absolutely.
Oh, there
Did
was
I
in
enjoy
Arizona,
that?
and after that guy died, they closed it
Absolutely.
down.
Oh.
I'm a businessman first and foremost. Let's be clear about something. I'm not peddling hamburgers to small children without parental guidance. These are adults purchasing a legal substance from me. I want one and only
legal
one thing. I
substance.
want my message out there loud and clear. I am a
I never referred to
believer
it like that.
that when people hear my message, the net
food.
health benefit to society is incredibly good.
It's true that before he served up artery-clogging, gut-churning meals, he ran fitness clubs and diet centers.
Yo, I'm hella-
But real
I'm hella
nutritionists
mad,
aren't
right
buying
now.
a word out of this fake
Mikey.
doctor's mouth.
How did he? Wait,
sounds-
why?
Because Julian tagged us in a post,
Mm-hmm.
and he screenshotted the show, and he highlighted a comment someone said, Gio looks like Kirby sucked in a nutsack.
buying a
Dude, weird to hear that Arizona has standards. Look at
Arizona don't have standards. We know this
But
because
real
our friend
nutritionists
told us,
aren't
our friend
buying-
who lived there told us. And also,
all he did was-
BTG played from there.
I'm from
Therefore,
Arizona.
we know that Arizona has standards.
This dude tried to take a bite out of this burger and only bit like 5% of it off the top.
a word out of this fake
He's
doctor's
like,
mouth.
how can I eat
It sounds
this?
to me like he's
This guy
appealing
reminds me
to
of when they
very
used to ask
base
gangster rappers if they
instincts.
think they're promoting
And
violence in any way.
certainly playing into people's enormous resentment about being told what to eat. If
Is it
he's
even good,
making a
though?
living and making money doing this, obviously there are people who really respond to this, and he's marketing to them.
This guy has that
Here's the
drug
thing.
dealer mentality.
Our
I think
restaurant
if I was
serves bad
if I was
for
like
you
in my
food.
20s,
Other
I'd
restaurants
be like
serve
super down for this. But even
food.
now, I'm kind of like,
We're honest.
I could
they're
legit
not.
die.
Plain and
Sure, yes. Are y'all going to this in Vegas? Yes. Or yes, most likely yes, right?
I
Are
guess. Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is why
So did
I didn't even start my diet this month or start working out because I was like, okay, well, I'm going to the Heart Attack Grill. Might as well just wait till after.
I'll get a
Simple.
double. I'll get a double.
I mean, this when they were here in Arizona.
Everybody
Dude,
collectively
like
got
two of
together.
those Octo
and
burgers
told
are as
the
tall
world-
as you are. The fuck?
Ugh, that looks like doo doo.
lives because I
That did not
don't
look appealing
want
at all.
to see people dead. Now, if they do die here, I'm not going to lie to you. That's great for business. I'll
You
say
know?
it again. Death is great for business at the Heart Attack Grill.
Somehow, in the 3 years since we first met, Dr. John has found a way to be even more exploitive. He recently hired a very short nurse who speeds around in a mini ambulance delivering beers.
Some of the hag has its perks.
The true anime.
What is
He
this?
also found a new spokesman for the restaurant.
What are we watching there?
460-pound Mike Lee just suffered his first heart attack, but he's
my
still
God.
alive and chilling.
How you doing on the program, Mike?
Great.
And while people keep dying, the Heart Attack Grill keeps thriving.
We've both
though
doubled
there's like an
in
ABC News
terms of
segment, I'm
money,
just-
in terms of square footage, but we've exponentially grown
Trying to save
when you
our
want
eyes.
to talk about extending the message.
Dr. John hopes to continue to grow and expand his morbid message to an even bigger audience, perhaps in a city near you.
Fine, son, keep eating.
I'm Ryan Owens for Nightline.
But we're going towards that city to eat some Heart Attack Grill burgers. Well, this one, and then I'm not trying to get hit by a nurse, but I will stream you getting hit by a nurse
No, I'm not doing that.
because like apparently like they like actually like hit the shit out of you because I've seen some videos. Of, like,
Yeah,
of
no,
that,
I'm cool.
Like, compilations of that because I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was from the Heart Attack Grill. Yeah.
No.
I'm not down for that.
That stuff can do it.
Mikey questioning his life. I'm worried about that. No one mentioned the actual taste of the burger. That's what I'm saying. Hold up. I'm going to look that up.
All right. I was actually gonna start getting ready because I'm gonna meet up with Matt J. We're gonna go get some ramen.
Oh, right. Oh, the one that the place that you keep talking about?
No, because they close at 2:30 for lunch, so we're gonna go to Davis.
Oh, that's a drive. Makes you fear for the worst, says Al Bundy on YouTube, and BTG Play says it tastes mid. Okay, so then I'm definitely getting the just a single patty. And speaking of food, I guess me and Gio will be off to go eat some food, and Gio's getting ramen. I'm gonna eat some pancit, which is a Filipino dish, which is pretty good. But the noodles and veggies and stuff and chicken and shrimp is pretty good. And
I love pancit.
yeah,
It's probably
and
my favorite Filipino dish.
what? Oh, which one?
Pancit. Pancit is probably my favorite Filipino food.
Yeah, no, it's up there. So I would say it's definitely top 3. And
Yup.
but yeah, so that's it for the 1v1 show for today. We're exactly about to hit 3 hours of 1v1 show, which is longer than usual. Chicken
Yup.
Adobo and Pancit says Jesus Nunez on YouTube. Yes, definitely those are both in the top 3 for me. But yeah, so yeah. Anyways, that is it for us on the 1v1 show, post show or regular show ended earlier, and this post show is only available on Twitch and in YouTube, and because we are also available on 4 other platforms, which are Spotify, Google Music, Stitcher, and Apple Podcast, and yeah, which is pretty much the audio version of the same exact thing. And yeah, so that's it for today. I'm Mikey, along with
Your boy Geo Huey Flow.
and that is it for us today. And just a reminder, there is no 1v1 show next Saturday, but if you check out my Hyphy Soul stream on Twitch, I'll be doing IRL streaming throughout the weekend. For Friday, I'll be streaming. I'm going to try to stream the drive there because I looked on the 5G coverage map because I have a 5G phone, and there's 5G coverage all over that highway. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it works out. And yeah, and then we just thought about doing content during the entire drive, where Gio will be trying random Japanese snacks that I'll bring him and stuff. So it won't just be us just sitting, chilling, talking. We'll be doing stuff on the drive. Well, Gio will be. I'll be driving. And so yeah. So yeah, no show next week. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. But you can check us out on Hyphy Soul next weekend. And that is it for us. So until then, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. And you have a good one. Later.
Peace.